Totes Recall.
Welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we can't remember very well. Pause the talk recording, eat 2 pizzas, 2 salads. Thank you, patrons. Watch the movie during the pizza salad time. Come back, unpause recording, talk again with gusto and intelligence. My name is Dan.
This is Molly.
I'm also Dan.
I'm Beth.
And our movie, this very special episode, first ever Hanksgiving episode.
Happy Hanksgiving!
Happy Hanksgiving, everyone.
Gobble, 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 charm, charm, charm.
The traditional ancient pagan holiday that was subsumed by the Catholic Church during the Crusades,
right.
wherein we celebrate the movies of Tom Hanks during the month of November.
Yes. Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, a classic Hanks.
A classic Hanks. Released in the 90s.
1993
Wow.
is my bad.
I was going to say 93.
I am speaking with gusto now to spite Dan
Wow.
for saying gusto only happens in the second half.
Beth, you are allowed to double up.
Do we know about that yet?
What?
We don't know about that yet.
About what?
About the gusto.
I just said it.
He did.
You said gusto?
in the intro to the show that
I wasn't
nailed.
listening. I was trying to. I got confused.
That's great.
I want to say 93 as well, but can
That's
I guess
fine.
the same year?
You're allowed.
Why
okay.
not?
Okay.
Molly guesses entire decades. There are no rules.
I'm going to do it too.
Whoa!
Wow. Well, to keep it spicy.
3 for 93.
Wow.
Let's do 1 for 94. I know this came after I was in high school,
Okay.
but I don't know how long after. So,
Fair.
yeah, 94 seems fine.
I had not seen this until the last few years, which I watched in preparation for a improv show about romantic comedies that I was in because I'm a quality artist who prepares for my art.
Very good.
So I saw it as a 35-year-old, and I liked it. That's my story.
It's really good.
Wow.
I also saw it in the last few years for the first time and only time.
For what show?
I just watched it for movie night.
Okay, because everybody talks about it.
They do. Yeah,
People love
it's
this
a pop
movie.
culture hit.
Staple of Hanksdom.
Yeah, and Meg Ryan.
Yes.
And you know, this is very tangential, but if you're
Right.
out there and you're
Never
like,
do
I've
that.
already seen Sleepless in Seattle, but I want to have a really good date night movie, I recommend In a World. It is a really
that
nice
voiceover one?
modern rom-com. Yes.
I love that one.
That's
was
a
really good.
rom-com?
Yeah, and what made me think of it is I wish I could watch it again for the first time. It is. It's got more layers, but at its heart, it is a rom-com.
I can't remember who she's ramen.
Well,
Is it Dimitri Martin? Or is he in the movie?
Dimitri Ramen.
No, he's not like the main guy. Dimitri Ramen?
Yeah, like rom, as in rom-com.
Yeah.
Instead of Mart. Replace Mart with Rom. Dimitri Ramen. Not the soup,
right.
but romance.
Oh,
Raw Martin.
This
Ro
is
Martin.
the worst tangent of
I really. Anyway, I loved Sleepless in Seattle when it first came out. I wish I could watch it again for the first time. I think I might know it too well at this point.
Uh-oh.
Wow,
Because it's
that
the
is a
kind of-
bold statement from
I
a Molly
know.
Chase.
I know. It's true.
What's the most specific thing you know about it?
Great question.
Go.
There's a comment where Tom Hanks learns that his butt matters in dating. It's kind of
Wow.
a funny,
Oh,
very
butt
classic
talk. Love
Nora
that.
Ephron
Okay,
line.
do we see
Is it
his
Nora F?
bare buns?
No, I don't think so.
Do we see
No.
anyone's bare buns?
No, it's not that kind of movie.
I think you're right.
I mean, what were you doing on stage when you were doing a rom-com?
Showing my buns to the audience.
It was a
Not
very popular show.
Yeah. It was Buns Out Rom-Com. That was the show.
I mean, it was shut
Well-earned.
down very
Yes,
quickly.
yeah.
The show was shut down very quickly, but
But there are so many layers. There's a kid in it. There's Seattle. There's a houseboat. There's what?
Oh, sorry, my headphones freaked out.
Oh, I thought you were surprised by what I was saying. I didn't think any of that was.
would you
that.
argue that Seattle is another character in the movie?
I would actually argue that New York.
Ooh,
Yeah, does it-
New York.
Oh, hey, New York.
Say, oh, Tommy Hanks
Jeez,
over
we gotta
here.
get to the top of the tower.
Oh, my wife is dead, I think. I got a boy.
I'm so lonely.
Oh, I'm so alone. Nice.
Those were a really good impression.
Thank you. Of Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's the Sleepless in Seattle. He's the titular Sleepless.
What? He's in Seattle?
Yes.
Well, then
Yes.
why are we... I was doing that wrong the whole time then.
No.
Well,
Oh, I'm Meg Ryan.
There you go.
I probably came out of a shitty relationship and I'm also lonely.
hey, I can't make any good guys in here.
Oh, I'm friends with some other popular character actors that probably live near me in the city of New York. Right?
Is her boyfriend like that?
No,
she has a boyfriend?
her boyfriend
Bill Pullman?
is Bill Pullman.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I got
right.
And he's
Wait.
very sweet.
Is Bill Pullman, is this the one where Bill Pullman has like breathing problems and he has like a bunch
Yes.
of equipment by the bed and she's like, ugh.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, he's got CPAP?
I don't have it to CPAP. I feel like it's just like, I got my sniffles. I got to have my eucalyptus steamer.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
got allergies or
Right?
something.
This is like it breaks form. Usually there's a bad boyfriend, but this time there's like a fine boyfriend
There's a great
Oh.
boyfriend.
or even a good boyfriend, but not good for her. Or
Just
why do we hate him?
we don't hate
We
him.
don't.
Then how can we be invested in Tom Hanks if we
Yeah.
don't hate Bill Pullman?
Yeah.
What am I going to like? Two men?
Here's what I remember about
Okay.
watching this recently. Meg Ryan's character to me becomes a stalker.
Oh.
Like there is a point she like follows this guy. She hears him on the radio and then like follows him around. Like there's at one point she's watching him and his kid from across the street, and I was like, this is creepy.
The streets of Seattle or New York?
She flies to Seattle for that.
Yeah.
Specifically, or she got like, oh, I have a business trip. I might as well. on
It's
this
a little
dude.
unclear.
I see.
Basically, yeah, she does go, I think, overboard by modern standards for real people. I would say she just flirts with that line as compared to what a lot of male characters do in rom-coms. But I do remember this. I think my recollection, and this could be wrong, is that there's a nice tension of where you're like, you have a perfectly good life now. Why are you stalking this poor man who you have not actually met? You don't actually know him.
Whoa.
And I think, and it'll be interesting to see, but I think a way you could watch this movie is it's also her coming to terms with like, good enough in her relationship isn't good enough, whether she gets together with Seattle or not. But I don't know if they make that point. Maybe Seattle is.
Is that how he's credited in the movie? Is
Yeah.
Seattle?
Yeah, it's
He's
just
just-
Seattle
They
Hanks.
just call him Seattle the whole time.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm realizing as we continue to talk about the movie Sleepless in Seattle is I think I am merging this with You've Got Mail because
no.
in my head
Another
this was
pairing.
like some sort of bi-coastal correspondence relationship. I did not realize this was just I like the sound of this man who's sad. I'm going to go find him.
Well, don't they somehow connect on the phone?
It's
That's
got to be
what
the
I'm
kid,
trying to-
right? It's got to be the adorable kid that connects them.
Yes, right? So he calls into the radio station.
The kid does.
The kid does. And
Oh.
he's like, my dad is sad.
Who
my
is
mom
at the radio
died.
station?
Oh.
Is she at the radio
It's
station?
No.
He calls an advice.
Her friend
National
is
broadcast.
listening to the
Yes.
thing and then calls Meg Ryan and is like, you have to listen to this.
So
or
none
something.
of the characters
Yes.
that actually are on the radio. Like the
kid
don't-
is.
They don't work for
They
the
don't
radio
work for the radio.
Oh,
station.
no,
It's
no,
like
no.
Frasier. They call up.
Frasier
works for the radio station.
Okay.
As does
The
Ross
person
and
that
Bulldog
the person that the kid calls
and that food guy.
is like Frasier.
Okay, got
in
it.
that he's calling into a radio show because his dad is sad,
Yes.
and then eventually his dad gets on the phone. Tommy Hanks.
Gets on the phone because he's like, "Who are you talking to?"
Yes.
Yes.
And then the therapist talks to him for a little while, and they get out more of the story. But everybody, like all across America, people fall in love with this guy,
I see.
Oh.
including
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan. And then she writes a letter.
She does, and then she decides it's dumb, and she rips it up. But then her friend sends it anyway.
Whoa.
She writes a letter, and her
Oh.
friend sends it.
Okay.
Somehow her friend gets
Friend
involved.
send.
Is
Yeah.
the
Friend.
friend someone we know?
It is a famous actor, and I'm struggling to remember who it is.
Is it
I'm gonna
Rosie
feel so
O'Donnell?
dumb. It might be Rosie O'Donnell.
I'm guessing Rosie O'Donnell.
Wasn't she in?
Dan's bet, Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a classic. They each got a friend who's fun.
Who's Hanks' friend?
A Reiner?
Yes.
Yep.
Rob?
Yes.
Oh, Reiner.
There's a good diner scene. That's something I remember.
Okay.
They're in a diner.
Who?
The men are in a diner.
Got it.
In Seattle.
I was
Dining
going to say,
Seattle
this is
men.
not the I'll have what she's having.
What if it
No.
was, though, but with men?
They're probably eating salmon or whatever the fuck they eat in
Yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, the halibut's real fresh
Wow.
today.
Northern California has got a little
Yeah.
feeling about Seattle.
I guess. I believe Rosie O'Donnell.
Great.
Rob Reiner. It's a lot of like, you see the same kind of scene, like little vignettes over and over.
How much of
Classic
this
rom-com
movie
structure.
is taking place in two cities?
And it's rooted in a
Tales of
classic
Cities.
film.
Tale of Two Cities?
It is.
No,
That's a book.
they reference it in the movie. They reference another movie in the movie.
Cyrano de Bergerac?
No,
Scarface.
Casablanca.
Godfather 2.
no, it's a classic
Dracula.
movie, and I cannot remember which one it is.
Dracula 2000.
Every time I watch this movie,
This is in 93.
I think I'm going to try to remember to watch this classic movie, and
On the
I never
Waterfront.
remember. No, I've seen that one. Just remember
The train one.
Changed on Train?
No, the one where it's just a train coming forward.
Orient Express. Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah, that one train that's coming right at you. It will murder you.
that one.
Yeah.
If it runs you over.
Choo choo.
Anyway, that's Molly's bet. There's a movie within a movie, at least referenced.
I
It's
see.
not like an actual movie within a movie.
So this is a Nora Ephron.
Yes,
Okay.
Which makes me think that it might pass the Bechdel-Wallace test.
I believe it
Where
does.
two named women speak
Yeah.
to each other
Mm-hmm. About not a man.
about not a man. But that...
I think it'll pass.
I think
There's
it'll
probably
go.
some like little observation of life that they talk about
I
that...
think they do talk about their lives.
Yeah.
I'm going to say pass without Meg Ryan.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to say gets dangerously close to not passing.
Okay.
Ooh, I think it does pass without Meg Ryan
Oh.
because of a little girl that appears towards the end of the movie.
Just appears
Like
a
an
She
elf?
doesn't
That's
appear, but she
terrifying,
becomes, she becomes
You've
more
been
central
stuck
to
in
the plot.
Seattle.
It's just her and her twin sister. And
Sure.
they just slowly bike down the hallway.
Yeah, and she's wearing a little brightly colored rain jacket in the streets of Paris, I think.
Yep.
Right?
Wait, what are we talking about now?
Always talking about The Shining.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about a different spookster.
Oh,
Yeah.
Resident Evil? No. Silent Hill.
the one
Forget
with
it.
the sewer?
Annabelle?
No. It's got Donald Sutherland in it. It doesn't matter.
Scariest of the Sutherlands.
I mean, that's probably true, right?
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know.
Donald?
Who's the scarier Sutherland?
You think Kiefer?
Kiefer Sutherland. He's 24.
He's also a
That's
vampire.
not that
vampire.
scary. That's intense.
That's intensity is scary.
I mean, he's
Especially
scary.
he whispers in like so many scenes.
He's a big whisperer.
I guess he's scary in like the real world where he is just like representative of just like
yeah,
government
just, like,
overreach and
waterboarding
aggressive
everybody.
like CIA tactics.
And don't you feel like he's okay? Now I'm just gonna make something up. But don't you feel like he's the kind of person who like that's the part that he plays, but he kind of secretly thinks he also is Jack. What's his name? Jack
Bauer?
Jack Bauer. It's like Euchre. That's how you remember it.
What?
In Euchre, the Jacks are the left and right Bauer.
Bauer
Oh.
means
Refer to.
Nope. Just kidding. I don't know what Bauer means. Mauer means wall
I'm
in
quitting
German.
the podcast.
Okay.
So is there what do we think any of these people do for a living? Because we've established none of them work for the radio
I
station.
bet they got weird jobs.
They have to, right? Mm-hmm. You're saying one of them lives on a boat?
His house. He lives in a
Seattle's
houseboat.
Tommy Hanks lives on a boat?
He's an architect.
with his son.
A boat architect?
No, he lives on a boat and is a.
You're telling me an
Conventional
architect's going to live on a houseboat?
Yeah,
It's at least
a
gonna be a cool
beautiful
houseboat,
Oh, it's a
right?
very cool
All right.
houseboat.
It's wildly large for a house.
I will accept if it's a cool houseboat that he's
Oh,
an
it
architect
definitely
who
is.
designed his own boat.
What's her job? She can just leave her job and go stalk a guy
Yeah.
in Seattle.
I think she's got. Oh, maybe she's an architect.
Publishing.
No, she might be in publishing or marketing.
She's
or
got a
something.
business job.
She's got a business
Yeah,
job.
business
It's
job.
like business.
She works business job.
Nice.
I can just picture her in a business outfit.
Yeah.
That helps.
Do you think we'll see a Marshall in this movie?
Yes, I bet both Marshalls.
Both Marshalls.
Double Marsh.
Wow.
Oh, Penny and
Oh wait, no, Nora Ephron is not Penny Marshall.
That's right.
Oh, that's bad.
Aren't
Sorry.
they friendly friends though? I feel
I
like
mean, I
Penny
feel like-
shows up in Nora Ephron movies sometimes,
That
right?
seems
Am I
right.
making that up?
Gary.
I don't
That's
know.
the guy.
I know.
Gary Marshall. I'll write it down. I'll do some research during the movie.
You're writing it down?
Yeah.
What's Dan writing down then?
Well, I don't know. Dan doesn't actually write down anything we say.
I've read almost a whole page.
Dan wrote down in quotes, butts matter.
Yep.
Bill Pullman.
Yep.
Meg Ryan stalker.
Thank you.
So those are good notes.
What else is on there?
Friend send.
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Rob Reiner. TH architect. MR business publishing.
Solid notes
Pretty
all
good.
around.
Movie and a movie. These are great
These
notes.
are great notes.
Great
Molly.
notes.
Because I'm not going to write Marshall, though.
No.
No,
All right.
that's only for Molly.
Do we think this kid will be super adorable or irritating?
Adorable.
Adorable.
Irritating.
Nice. I'm also going to say adorable, though. Because I feel like what I remember about this movie is like, yeah, I feel like I recall vaguely just generally being charmed by father and son, right?
Oh, how could you not? Tom Hanks.
Right, but it's not like the weird father and son relationship in like Love Actually, where it's just like everybody's just got to bang, right? And they have like weirdly inappropriate conversations. I feel like this is much more like Tom Hanks trying to engage with his child like as earnestly as possible, but also like probably wishing they weren't having a lot of these conversations, right?
Well, he's not comfortable with dating, that's for sure.
Because he's still grieving, I think, if I remember this movie
and also
correctly.
he's just out of practice. You know, when you meet somebody straight in college or straight out of school and you don't date anybody
Did the kid's
else?
mom drown off the boat?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
she
did they
did
address
not.
it? How'd she die? Plane crash?
Sick. She's probably
was
sick.
It's probably an illness, yeah.
Yeah. Or
The big C.
like a hostage situation gone wrong or something.
Yeah, Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer got involved. So okay, so she writes the letter, it gets to them, and then are they looking for her? They don't know who she is, right? What's the deal?
dad throws it away, but the kid picks it up. And he
okay.
starts writing to Annie, who is Meg Ryan's
She gets
character.
catfished by the kid?
And
kind
then,
of.
So then she
Oh,
comes to
wow.
Seattle because he wrote the letter.
Yeah.
But then,
Oh.
okay, am I remembering a different movie? Doesn't at some point they're like, meet me on top of the Empire State Building
Yeah.
on
That's the
this
movie.
day? Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Good for me.
And that's
And
kind of the end, right?
Yeah, and the kid has a best friend who's a little girl
Okay.
who is like very savvy. And so she helps with like
So,
a lot
like-
of the plans / schemes.
So like if I'm remembering the observation balcony scene, Tom Hanks' kid is essentially parent trapping him for this whole movie, right?
He's
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is trying to.
Yeah.
And she's still with Bill Pullman when she shows up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Billy
no, not
Dee.
exactly. They have a beautiful scene where they're sitting at a restaurant. Do you want me to give this away?
Oh, I remember this. And
Yeah.
she's like,
And
I'm
he's
just
like,
not that into you.
no, I mean, it's a really sweet
fakes
conversation.
an
What I like
orgasm.
about it is that Bill Pullman has a lot of agency in it.
Ah.
It's less like,
It's refreshing for the man to have agency in a movie.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Is it something though where at the end it's like, oh, he's going to be okay because he met this person?
He met a hot lady with allergies.
Yeah, he,
they
like,
both
bumps
blow their
into a-
nose at the same time
they
or something.
spill their coffee
maybe,
on each
I don't
other.
know. I
Feels
think
very
they do a
90s
pretty
rom-com.
good job. I think that's the last time we see him, but I think they do, my memory of it, and it might be inflated with time, right? I might be super disappointed. But my general memory is he comes across as like, hey, I want to be with somebody who is wildly excited about me.
That's a good mindset.
And I'm going to find
Good
that
job, Bill.
person, right?
Yeah.
Less than like, please don't hurt me, please don't leave.
Yeah.
And so when she gets up and leaves, you're like, you probably deserve that, and you should go find your person too.
Dan's bet. Nose blow, meet cute. Before the end of the movie.
Oh, wow.
right.
A little Easter egg. That's not an Easter egg.
Molly's bet the opposite.
Nose
We
suck.
never
meat.
see
Gross.
Bill Pullman again.
All right.
Wow,
Wow.
he gets disappeared by Jack.
Jack.
Yeah.
How did we get to the point where Jack Bauer's in this movie?
Beth stated that he's the scariest Sutherland.
Uh-huh.
You thought Donald Sutherland was maybe in this movie.
No, I didn't.
No, it was talking about
What's
scary
Donald
movies.
Sutherland in?
No, we were talking about the little girl that appears.
Yeah.
Oh, in a Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
And
Girls.
I made the Shining reference.
And I made the whatever other movie that is.
And we're not even sure.
reference.
So there's no banging in this movie. It ends with them just meeting,
Yeah, I don't think.
and they're not getting down on top of the tower.
No.
It's really not in front of a child, and they're not in front of the tower.
Aren't they on top
They're
of
on
the
top
tower?
of the tower.
Do they actually?
I think they're on top of the deck.
Yeah, I think they meet each other.
Or
up
do they
there.
meet in the lobby?
Or there's like a missed connection.
There's a
up there.
misconnection up there. I think they don't
But maybe I can picture them kissing on top of the tower, but that
What?
could be
That
any
was-
other movie.
That was the poster, though. No, the poster is
Why would the poster have a
he's
sequence on it?
in Seattle,
It's like
split screen.
looking towards.
screen.
Yeah, it's a split screen.
Oh.
Splitsies.
Okay, I don't know.
Crisscross.
To keep it spicy, I'm gonna bet that they don't actually kiss or get together on the Eiffel Tower. Not the Eiffel Tower. Sorry, the Empire State
Wow.
Building. P.S. If you're in New York, and I don't know what hours they have anymore, but if you can go up to the Empire State Building at night, it is so much less crowded and such a beautiful view with all the city lit up. I would highly recommend that as opposed to going in the middle of the day when it's much sweatier and more crowded and you don't get to see, I don't know. It's just a different view.
Another hot travel tip
Yep.
from Totes Recalls Molly Chase.
That's right.
All right. A New York guidebook.
Yeah.
Put it in there.
Very specific.
Should we make guidebooks?
Look out for the rats, though,
Yep.
because they run that city
What
as
would-
much as that one lady said
We
they
run
don't.
this town.
Would we do guidebooks based off of movies? Like what
Be
we've
like-
learned by watching this movie? Like,
Be like,
Okay.
there are a lot of hot dog stands.
Okay, we got New York's. What's the hot dog stand situation in this movie? Exciting or disappointing?
oh, there's not going to be a hot dog stand.
I don't really have time.
I'm gonna bet disappointing as
Maybe
well.
somebody gets directions from a hot dog stand or the kid buys a hot dog. Molly's bet we get to see a hot dog stand. I'm just feeling fun.
I appreciate your optimism.
All right.
P.S. My mom took my sister and I to New York. We wanted to get a hot dog. We went and got a hot dog with all the fixins because we were like, we're in New York. And both of us took one bite. And my mom was like, you hate it? And we're like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I figured. And we went and ate lunch somewhere.
Because of all the fixins, like you're not a relish.
I mean,
didn't
it was
relish
just
that
too
topping?
much. It was just
High five.
like, oh.
You can't say high five and then nobody high fives you. Like,
Everyone, wow! I got 3 high fives.
Listeners, that was a self-clapping high five. Do not
No.
let him distort the narrative.
No, Beth is still high fiving.
No.
I don't know why you're saying that because it's definitely not true. My
Our
hands are
arms are
clasped,
on our laps, under the table.
doing whatever the opposite of a high five is.
Yes.
A
When
low
did your
brown-
mom leave you behind and
brown.
you had to?
What?
Did your mom leave you behind at the
Hot dog stand.
stand and you had to catch up?
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
I am
Okay, this
kicking
is
you
the-
off the podcast.
This is done.
You know, after every,
high fives for these?
after every podcast recording, I think I need to be more positive towards Dan Jaquette. And I'm like, how did I get so mad at him? And then I listen later and I'm like, that is infuriating.
Yeah, you're a monster.
Hey, maybe we should rate this movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great.
What do you think we should rate it, Molly?
I'm going to say how many hot dog Hanks?
Hot
dog
Hanks. Hot dog. Is that okay? Is that a special kind of
potential layers here?
hot dog you get at the stand, or it feels a little bit like a saying you would like someone cheering on Tom Hanks for doing such a good job in this movie?
Hot dog, Hanks.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm also
Or-
thinking like a napkin, like a hanky that you wipe your mouth after you
Oh,
get ketchup
wow.
on
With
your,
Tom
on your
Hanks' face on it?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And then he gets the ketchup on his face.
Or it could be a handkerchief for hot dogs. Like when your dog is too hot
Yeah.
and you need to kind of towel them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
don't
lots of
sweat.
possibilities
With
here.
Tom Hanks' face on it?
Yeah. Sure.
Molly?
I think what we really need to key into is it is, in fact, a handkerchief as an accessory for hot dogs.
For the hot dog.
Well,
Oh, okay.
it's a handkerchief or a napkin. I like
Now the dogs
Beth-
are looking hot, like they're looking good. And
Are
this
we talking? Hold on.
No. So
Clarification needed.
Okay.
Are we talking about hot dogs, the food with a little hanky on them?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So hot dogs. So Beth had it exactly right, and I'm really surprised you two didn't get it. Which is that Tom Hanks is so charming and sweet that he can't stand the idea of you walking around with mustard or ketchup on your face. So he has invented Charm Hanks.
What?
Charm Hanks.
Hot dog Hanks?
Hot dog Hanks.
What is
Sorry,
happening?
I was originally going to do Charm Hanks, and I switched to Hot Dog Hanks in the
Oh
moment.
my God, we're losing the
He has
patent on this.
invented Hot Dog Hanks, which are napkins with his face on it. So he's essentially inviting you to transfer the mustard or ketchup from your face onto his face.
I see.
Okay, so they come with complimentary with a hot dog? Like we know this is gonna be a mess. Here's the Hank.
It can, or you can just stock up and bring them yourself.
Cloths, paper. What are we talking?
Stock up from where?
How much are you
Who
spending?
carries these?
Macy's.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, what a gift. So is this the right size where like you could literally like hold up the hanky and Tom Hanks's face is 1-to-1 with yours and just like smoosh it against your face?
Yeah.
Oh, and so you could smoosh that Hank's face.
You
You want to practice some kissing?
So it's like there's some bonus uses for it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not sanctioned,
Sure.
but
But like
sure.
you could totally
Yeah,
practice.
that's on when you go on the dark web and look up reviews.
Yeah.
You see that. Well, this product sounds great. It sounds
I love it. I'd buy it.
unbelievable.
Excuse me?
Unbelievable?
You need to go home.
Unbelievable. You think bunbelievable is better?
Unbelievable. God!
Unbelievable.
I hate this podcast.
It's not a podcast fault.
Don't blame
Don't
us.
blame podcast.
Dan,
Yeah.
let's get it started in here with you.
I am going to stuff your microphone down your throat. I swear to God. You said you were tired earlier. Now look at you.
I had a half-calf coffee but on the way over
wow.
and I'm
This
drinking
is
a cup of Earl Grey
dangerous. This
here.
is
Let's
terrible.
go,
All right.
baby.
Wow.
I recall being charmed by this movie, and how could I not? It has Charm Hanks and Charm Ryan in it, and some kid who's probably adorable. I'm gonna be optimistic and say 5 hot dog Hanks. This is a classic for a reason. This is a
Wow.
go-to when
Wow,
people
wow.
talk about the rom-coms of the 90s.
It is. That is true. That is true. BKG,
Yes.
number 2.
I feel like I'm going to like it, but not 5. Because that's a perfect movie. And I don't know that this is a perfect movie. So I'm going to say 4.
I am also going to go 4 because I don't think it's a perfect movie. Also, I think for me personally, it suffers from me watching it later in life. And I appreciate intellectually how much it solidified the genre of rom-com, but I don't feel it because I saw all the other ones before this one. And so it feels tired even though it wasn't.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I can't get over that.
It's like how when you're
personal
watching
experience.
Affies,
Yeah.
and sometimes you're like, this movie's okay, but I can understand that it like probably defined certain cinematic language.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why it's on the list.
Yeah, no, I understand exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've
Me as
seen-
well, because I've seen all the movies.
Yeah, and I understand 20%-ish of what I'm talking about. I believe.
I refuse to ever understand.
Great.
Wow.
Bold
Yep.
choice.
Classic American.
You
Molly.
can't tell me what movies are good.
I American avoid them if I want to.
Hell yeah, you can. Wow.
That was Dan once again giving himself a high five.
I don't know why he got the high
To
five.
your
did I?
benefit.
No, Molly and I high-fived because I
No,
liked
we
your joke.
I see.
And it's like, now it's like equal footing. We've
You
all
could-
made good jokes. All of us have made good jokes that we've all liked.
Molly's the only one who got a high five, though.
No,
For her joke.
I mean, check the tapes. It sounded like I got a lot of high fives.
You got a lot of
It
high fives
did
for
sound
your
like
joke,
it.
but Beth and I did not get a high five for our jokes.
Oh, it's still coming.
All right. You say so.
Molly, it's your turn.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I love Nora Ephron. I think I'm going to really love it, but I'm scared I won't love it as much as I remember. I'm tempted to give it a 4, but that feels cowardly, so I'm going to go 5 with room to be disappointed.
Oh, wow.
I mean, canonically, 3 is the cowardly ranking.
Oh, that's true.
You're allowed to redefine what a coward means.
That's
Well,
true.
thank you.
Typical
That's
American.
generous.
Am I right?
Yeah, I'm just feeling like I want to be bold, so I'm
Great.
going to go 5.
Yeah.
But my heart's not fully in
Any
it.
specific flavor of bold or?
I'm gonna say it's a Beal Beyond Bo Baggins Buttercup.
Ooh, buttercup.
Buttercup.
Buttercup. I love it.
And with that, we're gonna press pause, watch Sleepless in Seattle, and we'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. This is Beth from the podcast Totes Recall that you're currently listening to. Great job. You made it through the first half.
Wow.
You're doing so good.
What a
good half.
slog, I'm sure.
What? How dare you?
are here to tell you that we're doing a live show.
What?
Yes, it is coming up in December, on December 8th. It's a Thursday in Minneapolis, Minnesota at Trilon Cinema. Tickets are available now. Head to live.totesrecall.com. We'll be recalling the movie Jingle All the Way.
Wow. Not part of the way.
All the way, baby.
What a fun cinematic experience that would be to watch a movie with us there.
On the big screen.
Be there.
We will talk
in person
with microphones.
Yeah.
And fabulous prizes.
What?
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Are they prizes like you have to do something to win them?
No.
Oh, okay.
You just show up.
Giveaways.
They're
You have
giveaways.
to buy a ticket.
Yeah. Ooh, the hardest contest of all.
Yeah. Enter with money.
A specific amount of money.
Yes.
For a ticket.
But legally, maybe not.
What?
Yeah, legally, it's not a contest or a sweepstakes.
That's why I said it was a giveaway.
Yeah.
Buy your tickets at
live.totesrecall.com.
All the way.
And we're back. We just watched 1 hour and 45 minutes of just rainy days and charm and a great soundtrack.
Great.
And romance.
Oh.
And romance.
In America.
Definitely
Romance
America.
in America.
And one thing that
Okay.
Dan, what
Coming in
happened?
hot.
trying to find a segue.
Oh.
America wins awards all the time.
Does it?
Yeah, USA number 5.
U.S. number 5 won that award.
Every year.
And other ones. And something else that wins awards is our segment that we always start the second half of the show
Good segue.
with 60-second summary.
Masterful.
In which we summarize the movie we just watched, Sleepless in Seattle, in 60 seconds exactly.
Yes.
As is tradition, I will volunteer to go first.
I will try it this
Great.
time.
Great.
Do it. Are you ready?
Are you looking at me?
You
Yeah.
did make eye
Yes.
contact with me when you said
I glanced lazily towards Molly, but also make sure I had the
Make it all the way
button.
around.
I needed to make sure my thumb was on the button to start the timer.
Got it.
I'm
Because
ready.
unlike Molly, I honor the integrity of this
That
segment.
is true. That is true.
I will not be calling time at 10 seconds. I will not be calling time at 35 seconds or whatever the fuck. Are you ready?
I am.
Now, as is tradition for you, and since you're not the one telling Dan what to do, you are required to open on.
Okay, excellent.
Oh, I'm all fired up now. Ready and go.
We open on a very sad funeral scene in Chicago with Tommy Hanks explaining to his son, Jonah, that his mom has died and there's no real reason for it. Anyway, it's very sad. He's an architect. They're in Chicago. He decides to make a big change, move to Seattle. He and Jonah move to Seattle. He thinks they're doing just fine, but Jonah doesn't. Christmas Eve, Jonah calls into a radio show and says, hey, my dad is lonely and needs a new wife. Has a very charming conversation. Lots of stuff happens. There's telephones.
30 seconds.
Meanwhile, Annie, who is a journalist in Baltimore, we think, gets kind of obsessed with him too, even though she's in a relationship with Walter and there's nothing wrong with Walter, but she doesn't feel that magic. And she becomes obsessed with Sleepless in Seattle. There's some sort of creepy things that happen. There's a sister involved. Anyway, not with the creepy stuff. But
10 seconds.
Wow.
in the end, they end up at the Empire State Building, just like an affair to remember. They meet, they hold hands, and you know that it's love, and Jonah is happy.
Time.
Wow.
Obviously 100% Utah on that.
Obviously, 100%
Yeah.
Utah. Did skip
Just a couple minor,
couple.
maybe
minor details.
just an hour of the latter half of the movie.
Yeah.
But
I
on
mean,
a
I
board.
hit the highlights.
In the end, really brings it home. That's
Yeah, that was masterful.
almost as helpful as we open on is
Absolutely.
helpful.
Absolutely.
And that is why we win those awards.
That's,
Oh, yeah.
that's the award winning.
Oh, they're coming in right now.
They're getting airdropped in.
Just like
Just
America.
like, when
Yeah, they're
Harry-
getting drone
boy.
strikes through
All those-
the
Oh.
window.
Oh,
No.
just throwing all those awards to
Okay.
fund Yemeni horrors.
I was going in a way more fun direction where I was going to bring up like in Harry Potter when Harry gets all those letters of admission to Hogwarts and they come through all the
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like how
That's
we get
fun.
awards.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a eugenics-centered wizard school authored by a TERF.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm back, baby.
Number
We made
5.
Dad very bad before the timer.
Right. and now I'm going scorched earth on everything.
As he drinks out of the Harry Potter mug.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, Ron Weasley. Cantaloupe. What? Oh, I see. It's the little jelly beans on this mug.
I'm drinking out of a Harvard mug.
Yeah, there's fun mugs at this house.
I'm feeling smart.
Mugsville.
And or snooty. We don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, muggles?
But I will say, I did remember to bring it up in the first few minutes of our conversation.
Bring what up?
Harvard?
Were you supposed to?
No, isn't that a thing?
Huh?
How do we know?
None of us went to Harvard.
Why do you have the mug then?
Beth's Beyond boyfriend visited Harvard with some students.
Oh, okay.
I believe you
look at
say
the-
Beyond betrothed.
Oh, yeah. What did I say?
Beyond boyfriend.
Oh, Beyond betrothed. Excuse me.
but went to a college in Boston.
He went to a college in Boston.
Right? In
What?
Boston. Isn't that what they say?
You're not supposed to say Harvard.
Has a lot of bricks.
Yeah.
Yep. Went to Brick College.
Anyway, I went.
A lot of plants on those bricks. You know what I'm saying?
What else? What else did Molly skip? Summary.
It feels like she skipped a lot, and now I'm trying to add things in, and there's not
Annie
much.
has
Just-
a friend who
yeah.
also works at magazine.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell. She is.
I think they work for the Baltimore Sun. Which Is a
Okay.
newspaper.
Oh, okay.
Great. She is very supportive of her perhaps irrational response
Yeah.
to Jonah's phone call on the radio, which she listened to on her drive back from, I assume, somewhere in Illinois or Indiana to visit her
No.
parents.
I don't think she went to Illinois, though.
Why
I don't
would
think
she hear a Chicago radio
It's a
show?
national. They bring it up like 14 times. It is a national program. Why would it be in Seattle and Chicago and not the rest of the
Because
country?
he's from Chicago, so I assume Jonah's just like, oh, I'll call that therapist lady that's on the radio.
It's a national show.
Okay.
They say it like 4 times.
Who?
The script.
Yeah, she says,
This is
well,
a
I'm Dr.
across America
Marcia,
national help.
whatever her name is.
Yeah,
What's her
Marcia
name?
Featherstone.
I don't think they could have driven very far because they drove separately. You think that they drove
Have
that
you
far?
seen the way some people who actually like their families will do for holidays?
Yeah.
I
They
guess.
drive
two
through a
separate
Capitol,
cars.
though.
They didn't need to drive 2 cars.
They
by
were
the
a lot
way.
of gifts in those cars.
Yeah, but they didn't even use the
That was
trunk.
part
maybe
of
Walter's
the-
allergic to her car.
That's what I thought at first, but no, they mentioned because she had to go back to Baltimore and he was going to stay with his family. They were just visiting
So
her
then-
family for Christmas Eve. They're going to his family for Christmas Day. and
Where's his
she was-
family?
we don't know, but she's
Maybe it's just another part of Baltimore. Did they actually leave?
I don't know.
She's
a
just
pretty
driving
long
home.
drive.
For
and she
a
has to stop
movie-
for coffee.
That's true.
Yeah, in a Capitol. The Capitol Diner.
Oh, that's true. God damn it.
Oh,
All
which
right,
is probably
Some
DC.
capital.
fine. Maryland
DC.
area,
Yeah, okay.
fine.
Is that Annapolis?
It's a national program, and everybody understood that from the beginning.
Yep. But for a movie that has a city name in the title,
Ooh, we were losing our minds the first
there's
like,
a lot of not Seattle in
Yes.
this movie.
Yeah.
We opened on Chicago.
We opened in Chicago.
That was the biggest reveal of the whole thing. It blew our minds.
Yes. And then we spent the whole first half being like, New York, New York. Meg Ryan's in New York.
Yeah.
Then she throws out Baltimore.
She's in Baltimore, but then the
Oy, oy,
pinnacle
oy.
is in New York.
It is for Valentine's
Climax.
Day.
Ugh.
Wow.
And they even try it. Maybe the early screeners, there were a lot of people, I guess, screaming about where is this
That's
movie
what the
take
map
place.
was for?
It's it's
Yeah.
real shitty.
How dare you?
Oh, it's bad. I mean, I've seen an Indiana Jones movie. I
Sure.
know how fun a map can be in the middle of a
see.
movie.
Sure.
And this is like just a still image of a topographic map.
But they give it the same sound as Tom Hanks's kitchen map when he pulls
Yeah.
it down.
Sure, that's fun, but
All right.
the map itself is not
Makes
fun.
me think I should get a kitchen map.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Sure.
That is fun. We
Just
have
to
a
be
globe, and I love it.
In the kitchen?
It floats around, but it's on.
What do
it's
you-
in
what
the
do
dining
you
room.
do?
Wait,
with
it
a
floats
kitchen
around
map.
because you have it follow the orbit of the planet around your house?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, when you have a kid, there's a lot of like, oh, this happened here, and they've never heard of that place, and it's fun to be like, that's here, like
Nice.
Tom
Yeah.
Hanks does.
Right.
He's
You want to
pretty
blow
aggressive
your
about it.
mind?
Spitefully.
Yeah.
Hold a globe that's not inside a container.
Say what now?
Hold a globe.
That's not
This is a riddle.
inside.
All right, gotta hold a
container.
globe that's not inside a
The
container.
doctor was a woman.
Not
that's
on a
not
stand?
tethered. That's not on a stand or on a stick
Just
or
like a
anything
ball.
tethered.
Just a loose globe.
Just a loose globe,
Like
like,
a
you know, like
ball.
a regular ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is wild.
Is it a ball or is it still like a traditional globe?
It's a traditional
Did you
globe.
detach the globe?
Whoa.
I recently had the experience of someone handing me in a classroom
You
setting,
put the whole earth in your hands.
casually handed me a globe with no stick in it. And I just hadn't thought about the tactile experience of
stick.
holding a globe and just realizing that the, Antarctica
Yeah.
is just like part of the globe. It's not like the top or the bottom.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
you don't
Oh,
realize how
sure.
much you orient
Yes.
yourself to it being on a
It's like
stick.
when you see those flat maps where
Oh, yeah.
America's not in the middle.
Yes.
Right.
And you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Or like if you see occasionally a show in space will like show Earth from an angle that isn't the American continent. You're
Yes.
like, oh yeah.
Of course. But it was weirdly a revealing experience for me.
What globe? I've never had a globe with a stick in it.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, like most globes have like a thing
Like
through
an
them that you can
axis.
spin them on.
My globe as a child had two well-manufactured voids in the poles and that you would then shove into the stand, and the stand itself had two little knobby-doos that went into the hole.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So mine could get loose anytime.
Did you
Wow.
ever hold it?
Yes,
loose?
of course I did.
And
You
how
popped
was
it
that?
out?
Amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
We haven't popped our globe out. I'm a little nervous about
give it a
that.
try. You'll feel so liberated.
I feel like
It's a pretty
either
high-quality
we
globe.
or one of my friends had like a blow up ball
Sure.
that had the
Yeah.
earth on it.
When I was a wee lad,
Oh, wow.
for reasons I was too young to actually absorb enough to remember why, they built a globe, a planet Earth, in the, I now realize, probably just the mall of the university, where I now have walked countless times, usually very depressed. That was college for me.
I've heard of it.
But when we were in elementary school, like they built it out of like little triangles, and it was like a structural engineering feat.
Oh,
But like
sure.
each class or something, we each got a triangle, and we had to like paint it maybe. And
Okay.
the idea was that we would like look at a map and like paint
Hope
it
you got the
correctly or
ocean.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like you kind of look at like what's supposed to. I don't remember anything about this other than.
Is it still there?
Other than like you then went to the campus and like handed your triangle to the people building the globe.
Oh, cool.
Literally all I remember about this is there's a picture of us standing near the globe and it's not finished yet.
Oh, wow.
I
like
don't
a
remember
Death
why
Star.
this happened. I don't remember why we were involved in it. I don't know what it was for. Great story.
Sleepless in
Live
Seattle.
in Seattle, big time.
Seattle's on a
Good
globe,
story.
by the way.
Seattle's what?
On a globe.
Whoa.
That is
Segue.
on a
Good
globe.
segue.
Bill Pullman is never in Seattle,
Correct.
but he gets done dirty.
There are
Well,
less people in Seattle than you'd expect from a movie called
Most
this.
people are not in
Most
Seattle.
people are not in Seattle.
Rob
Yeah.
Reiner's in Seattle.
Yeah. Rita Wilson comes to Seattle,
Yeah.
but she is not there in Seattle because she's still in Chicago.
although in a filming sense, she was in Seattle because her husband was. Rita Wilson plays Tom Hanks' sister in the movie, but she is married to him.
Oh, that's supposed to be a sister?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I
thought it
think
was
so
just
too.
like they were just friendly friends. I
I
don't
think
know.
it's his sister.
Okay.
Yeah, I also think it's his sister. Because
Seems right.
aren't they? Where do we meet her?
At
At the
the-
funeral, right?
Funeral, yeah.
But like friends can help
That's
people at
true.
funerals.
Make
It's
stuff in
true.
Tupperware.
Yeah.
At any
Doesn't
rate,
matter.
Close to the family.
Yes.
I want to talk about Bill Pullman.
There you
That's
go.
Why I,
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
no,
you.
that's fine. Like we were just trying to maybe explore other elements of the movie,
No,
and you
it's
just
fine.
wanted to
I mean,
shoehorn
we
in.
made a list, and it's for me to say when we move on topic.
Bill Pullman plays Walter, who is Meg Ryan's fiance.
Yeah.
He seems fine.
Yeah.
I think he's great.
By the end of the movie, he's great.
I think he's a very charming person.
nice.
The only thing that like she seems to be like weirdly upset by is that he has allergies.
And she's not even that upset about
No.
it. It feels like the
No.
movie is trying. I find it very interesting.
Speak on this.
Yeah. So the role of this character in a lot of rom-coms
Yes.
is to suck.
Yeah.
So that we feel great about the person extricating them from a bad relationship and finding love somewhere else.
Right.
But that's not what he's doing here.
No.
He's there to show that she shouldn't settle, but I don't know, there's like too much nuance in this movie for me.
You weren't prepared for it.
I feel like sort of in the language of film, it's giving us he's difficult because he has a lot of allergies.
Yeah.
But also Annie doesn't care about that.
Right.
So I don't know why it's there.
For comedy.
Okay.
I think it's there for comedy in the same way that whole conversation about what that other guy is allergic to, bees.
That guy
Now
crushes.
that was
great.
funny.
Love that.
You want to
Harold
talk about funny
rules.
allergy conversations? We do not open, but soon come to Christmas dinner at Annie's family's house. We learn that Walter's allergic to things because he starts sneezing after they announce their engagement, and he's embarrassed. Because, of course, he's such a sweet man. He wants to look good in front of her family.
Yeah.
And then some couple, I'm not even clear who they are. The woman just says like, "Oh, that's like Harold and bees." He's like, "Yes, I'm allergic to." And Harold is like so wooden the entire time, and they
But
keep
committed to giving this fact out that he's allergic to
coming
bees.
back to it. Like that's most of the scene after that is just continually hammering how Harold is allergic to bees, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the hardest I laughed the whole movie. It's
That's
about
good.
the bees.
It was great. And I think if we're dissecting this movie a
Please.
little bit, David Hyde Pierce plays
Yes.
her brother.
Yes.
And I think what Nora Ephron is setting up there is that Annie has come from a family where she has believed this entire time that the expectation is like slow, steady, reliable, not a lot of infusion of magic. And so that first conversation she has with her mom, where her mom says, "You know how it feels. It just feels magical when you see your person and
Right.
you can't wait to marry them."
Even with your boring old dad.
Yeah.
Right.
Annie is having this moment. It's her first crack in the armor realization of like, maybe there is something else possible for her that I think she hadn't even realized was on the table. And then she's primed for that. So then when she hears on the radio this guy talking about magic and she feels like emotion about it, I think it starts to open up for her a question of whether or not she should be with Walter, for whom nothing is objectionable, right? Like, he's not a bad guy. He's thoughtful. He's sweet. He checks all of the boxes. He seems great on
Very
paper.
supportive.
Yeah.
But she becomes aware that she's missing something. And I think in that way, her quest for the rest of the movie to figure out if she should be looking for that thing, and if she should, then she needs to close the door on that or pursue it. And in the end, he kind of helps her make that decision.
Yeah, I totally agree with like that's her journey of
100%.
like it's fine, but what about magic? But it also feels to me like his allergies and sort of general like he has difficulty with ailments is part of the tableau of like this dude's just fine. And I wasn't crazy about that.
I get what you're saying, because it's like the language of rom-coms is usually like, let's just run down the list of why this guy's no good.
Yeah.
And like in this case, the only thing we have to go on is like, look at all the stuff on his nightstand.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's weird because there's nothing else, which is maybe the point. Like to what Molly's saying is like, the point is like, this is literally the only thing you could object to is like this slight inconvenience of sleeping next to him.
Well, and I think he's also not necessarily supposed to be charming. Like he's like supposed to be kind of nerdy, right? Like
Sure.
he makes references that like the family doesn't get, and like,
Yeah. He orders
But-
Dom DeLuise champagne,
Which-
Yeah.
is a great
Chef's
joke.
kiss. Oh my God.
but
I
like,
loved it.
I don't know, like I find that charming.
Sure.
And so like to me, I'm like, oh, you have like a quirky personality and you are funny and seem interesting. And so it
She's
seems
into that too.
right.
Yeah. And Hanks isn't that different either.
Right. And so this movie is so strange to me because they don't actually like, I mean, they see each other, they say hello to each
Yes.
other at one point, but they don't actually meet until the end of the movie.
blew my mind when we were
And-
getting to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like the things that she does to pursue this relationship, I don't understand why her friend is like being like, yes, keep doing this, because
She's a good friend, Beth.
Also,
Is
her
she?
friend is in a terrible
Yes,
marriage.
and
we're
is
told
living
many
that's
times.
true.
vicariously through.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like
He
Rick
wants
is
to be
terrible.
in a movie.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't understand I don't understand the thesis of this movie. Like, because there is definitely the arc of you should be searching for.
Hold on, let me pull down this map so you can really plot this out for us.
Don't settle for just it works and it's fine. Find that magic spark. Love at first sight. That stuff. But at the same time, this movie is mapped onto An Affair to Remember, which is the Cary Grant movie. And there's that line from Rosie O'Donnell of like, you don't want to fall in love, you want to fall in love in a movie. And this is also a movie. So I feel like there's Nora Ephron is also maybe saying like, also this is not real love too?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I will say in the draft that she got before she edited it, Annie was in a terrible relationship. And Nora Ephron made a very conscious decision of like, I don't want it to be some easy choice between some person. I want it to be like a risk. It's a risk.
Yeah.
It's a big risk. Like she's heard this guy talk one time and that's all. And they give us hints like why they would get together. Like she peels that apple in the curl with like the one curl or whatever. And then he talks about how his wife used to do that. So they're like, and then there's times where they're like simul speaking during the radio show.
Sure.
But like, they don't know that.
Right.
So what they actually know is happening. He's on the radio. She sends a letter and she's one of like thousands of letters that he's received. And then a child sends the letter back. So it's just so strange to me.
That apple thing was way more subtle than I was expecting when you guys pointed out to me. Like I thought there was going to be something at the end of just like, now she's peeling an apple in front of Tom Hanks. No, it never comes up again.
Yeah, and they did a lot of stuff with like the door design. Like they literally shipped doors across the country so they could have the same door for
that
Seattle
actually,
and
freaked me out at one point where she like opens a door and then Tom Hanks comes out of the exact same door.
Yeah, because they're actually only on screen together for like 2 minutes of the whole movie.
It's bananas.
Which is part of the reason they had trouble making the movie. Nobody wanted to see him. People thought there would be no movie if the two leads only encountered each other a couple minutes.
I see.
It's all build up. It broke my brain. I don't know who I'm supposed to root for, what I'm supposed to believe in.
I think
Really? What? Just because he didn't like, hey, I'm a snake. I think it's more cool that she had to give up something. And she's not even, they don't like get married at the end. Yeah. They just hold hands and get on an elevator.
Yeah.
But we should be rooting for them the whole time, right? Like, we want them to get together.
I did.
Yeah?
I mean, I was more rooting for I was rooting for Tom Hanks to feel like he could continue to move on with his life.
Maybe it's not even about them together.
Yeah.
But it's like both of them meeting each other for both of them is breaking out of their current life.
Yeah.
Like Annie needs
clearly she needs something to change.
She should and does be able to see in herself that it doesn't matter who this guy is on the radio. The fact that she's like obsessed with some guy while she's about to get married is like, you should get married to this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks is actually doing fine. I liked Victoria.
I had a similar experience. I was dating this guy. There was absolutely nothing wrong with him. He was great.
Seattle?
And I could tell. No.
Georgia.
Georgia.
Okay.
We're in Georgia. And I could kind of
Which side
tell
of the
he and
wall
I
is he
were
on?
thinking along the same lines. What did you just say?
Did you meet him over the wall? Or he was on the same side.
Brother. Oh,
Sorry.
goodness gracious.
American woman, I must spray saline into my nostrils before sleep, or else I get so sneezely.
Sneefully.
Nothing like any of that. No,
Okay.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And I found myself getting this huge crush on a coworker, which was inappropriate, and I never would have done anything about it. But the crush told me that I was like, I remember talking to my best friend about it, and she was like, okay. So,
She didn't Rosie O'Donnell it.
no, I mean, she just kind of was like, okay, so yes, you got a crush on someone and you're pretty serious with this other guy. How serious are you about this other guy? And I was like, I am going to like pay attention. And I did. And I did a terrible job of breaking up. I'm bad at it. I also don't like being broken up with.
Sure.
Like neither side is great. I did my very best job.
I'm
but
sure you did fine.
I was crying by the time he came to the door. It was terrible. Oh, I felt so bad because like there was nothing wrong with him.
Yeah.
But I knew I didn't want to get married to him. And like, what do? You wait 2 more days.
Right.
You wait a couple more weeks. You wait till after you're engaged.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I mean,
you
the
kinda
Soviet
have
Union
to-
could collapse at any time. Like, you gotta decide.
Well, what I'm saying is that you sometimes it takes a lot to break you out of, whatever you're in, especially when it's like, I don't know, kind of easy,
Safe.
But then why? Okay, yeah, I agree. What does Tom Hanks need then out of meeting Annie? Like
I feel like what he gets is he feels a spark, and he feels a spark with someone who's not his wife, and so
Right.
he's able to move on. So I like this perspective of the movie where it's like they're holding hands. It doesn't mean that they're going to be together, because I do think that the way that relationship starts is not necessarily like healthy, but they do both get to break out of the kind of ruts that they were in.
Because he says at the beginning, it doesn't happen twice. Right? He has no faith. It's not even that he's in grief. He has no faith that he'll ever feel love again.
Yeah, and I guess he kind of lays that out to Jonah as well when they're seeing Victoria off at the airport. Of like,
Right. This is what single people do.
This is what single people do. I'm not marrying her. She's not moving in. You put people in your life, you try them on, you see if they fit.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great mindset. Good job, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, can we just take a moment to like really appreciate how much Hanks crushes it in this movie?
Hanks crushes it
He's
so hard.
he is so emotionally, I don't know. He really nails at the beginning of the movie, like, I am completely broken on the inside, but I'm also an adult American man who works a job.
Yeah.
Like that energy he brings to that scene with his like just trying to be helpful coworker. It's like, it's so, I don't know. It felt very real where he's just like, I understand you're trying to help, but also I hate all of this and please don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, that's a great scene where the guy's like, here, talk to my shrink. Again, 90s movies love bringing up therapists. We as a country are trying on mental health.
just a little bit.
Yeah,
Usually it's a joke, but
we still have to kind of make fun of it, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out all the different cards that people have given him. And then it sort of like gives the guy an out of like, don't worry about it. He just lost his wife.
Yeah.
But the best line in there is like, got to dig into your work. Work will save you. That's all I got. With just a beautiful razor's edge on it of like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And definitely like maybe even something that his like completely tactless supervisor said to him.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know, like the whole like before he puts himself out there, you know, with Victoria. Like that whole first half of the movie, like he just plays it so well where he's like clearly hurting, but he's like trying to be there and stable for his kid. And like has clearly like enough time has passed where he's not just like, you know, he's functional, right? Like even the way he talked to that therapist on the phone, I don't know, it just felt very real from a perspective of like some dummy watching a movie who has not experienced that personally. But I don't know, it just felt very authentic, just at least in that sense of where like he never quite, I don't know, he just played it with a nice, like even when he was being kind of snarky to the radio host, like he was still doing it in sort of more of like, that same thing he did at the beginning. It was like, oh, don't mind him. He's like his wife just died. Where he's like, he just can't help it a little bit, but he also like isn't necessarily trying to be that mean. I don't know.
Yeah.
Breaking news: Tom Hanks.
He's great. And
Pretty
did
good
you
actor.
know he shaped that character?
Explain.
Nora Ephron made everyone else stick very tightly to the script, but for Tom Hanks, she kind of gave him a lot more leeway.
Oh,
And
Mr. Hanks.
And basically she just kind of realized that Sam wasn't as developed as a character. And this is at a time when emotional range and grief wasn't very present in 90s men.
Yeah.
In particular in comedies. So she gave him a lot of leeway, and he added a lot of grumpiness to the role.
Love it.
Which is true. His grumpy, like his
grumpy
fight
Hanks.
with his son.
I love a grumpy Hanks.
And apparently, like Tom Hanks was like, in the original script, she had him decide to not go away with Victoria, his girlfriend, and instead stay home with Jonah. And Tom Hanks was like, this this guy really wants
Yeah.
Wants to get laid.
Wants to get laid.
Yeah, I mean, basically,
says.
like, it's been years. Like,
Yeah.
this guy needs,
6, maybe 7.
He's not
Got to
gonna,
eight in college.
Mary Kelly.
yeah. Anyway, so it led to that really funny fight that they have.
Very funny.
I almost like the father-son story of this movie more than any other part.
And you maybe are supposed to. I don't know.
But he really, it's just a nice blend of like, he's a good dad and he's doing his best, but like he sometimes fucks up in part because he's taken on too much. He's a single parent. Also, he's still mourning.
And also his son is like overreaching a lot.
His son's really,
Which like he's a kid, like whatever.
he's
But
a
it
kid,
is
lost his mom.
like the fact that he handles it as well as he does is honestly kind of impressive.
Yeah.
Because Jonah like really, I don't know. Sometimes he just like, come on, man.
Yep.
the part where Tom Hanks tells his son to shut up, and his son comes back like, shut up,
Yes.
shut up, shut up to me.
That was awesome. I love that.
They just have like a full-on fight.
Yeah.
He's it's probably older than 8.
The actor?
Yeah, Molly forced me to compare the child to my own child.
Who is how old now?
Who was 1 year younger than the child in this movie
Got it.
supposes to be.
Uh-huh.
But just this kid's getting way more real than my son ever does. So.
I mean, he's had a much realer
it's another
experience
year and a
recently.
bunch of grief.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really dig into it.
It's
I
great.
appreciate it.
Me
Like
too.
they're real with each other. They're a team. I like that.
They do have, I said it the first half that they probably don't have like a weird, inappropriate sex conversation like in Love Actually, but they do, but it is less weird.
Yeah.
I guess is what it is.
Well, Jonah is out there watching cable at Jed's.
Oh, yeah. He's
and
seen
like
some things.
getting a lot of info from Jessica. Who,
Jessica.
Jessica is a real handful.
I have issues with Jessica.
like Gabby Hoffman.
Who is Gabby Hoffman?
She's an actor of note.
Actor.
What else has she been in?
Oh, all sorts of
All
stuff.
right.
Movies.
Fine.
TV shows.
Look it up later.
Indie lady.
She just like, she's got this whole thing where she like, I don't know. I mean, again, this is clearly, I don't spend a lot of time around children, but like she does this thing where she abbreviates things and then is like annoyed when you don't get it.
That was the 90s, though. You know, did you watch...
What? That's your explanation?
And also the thing that she abbreviated was New York, which like everybody knows what NY stands for.
well, I think
way.
That was the joke.
right? Of like she
I
always
get the
abbreviates.
joke.
I like it.
I'm just saying,
Don't
I would be
explain the
annoyed
joke,
too
Dan.
if people didn't.
Yeah.
You know, she abbreviated other things before that, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Here's what I'm trying to say. The reason I bring up the 90s is because that was the time, right? That was Malcolm in the Middle and all of those shows.
This is way before Malcolm in the Middle.
That was late 90s. This is early internet, AFK,
But wait,
BRB.
wasn't this still like Home
TTYL.
Improvement?
I don't know.
I feel like this was the era when kids were sassy. In media, for sure, and probably
You're
real
saying
life.
this was the only era where kids were sassy?
This is where the sassiness was celebrated, right? Because Roseanne, all those shows started coming out, and kids weren't presented as...
I'm
Mr.
not-
Menace.
I'm not taking issue with the sassiness. I am taking issue with the form the sassiness takes.
the abbreviations.
Just her whole deal.
Her whole deal.
Her whole deal is
If
like,
she were a man, would you have?
yes, I'd be like, what is this kid's problem?
Especially a man.
Leave the sad dad
Man's like-
alone with your dumb abbreviations. Ugh. But to Jessica's credit, we then get one of the best characters in the entire movie, Jessica's dad, who we know is her dad because he steps into frame in his own house and says, Jessica, it's your father. Oh my
In a
God.
robe.
It's not
In a
even like
robe.
he's like, it's not like he's like calling in or in
No.
another room. He just walks up to her a foot away from her and says, Jessica, it's your father.
I'm your father.
Amazing.
I do feel like they added that in, right? Like they're like, he hasn't shown up before. We got to make it clear who this guy is.
It very much feels like
It's a play
note.
off of it being like, don't talk to Jonah's father that way. It's Jonah's father. You've got to tell him where Jonah is. And then he steps into frame and says, I'm your father.
Oh, but
Or do you think he was
I'll
like
father you.
stating his character, like he was reading the script and it was like Jessica's father? It's like,
Steps
okay,
forward.
I'm Jessica's father. And then the line,
Disappointed.
I hope so. Either way, it was
classic
amazing.
Sorbo.
Oh my God.
So good.
Yeah. And also, she's crafty, though. She books a flight, and she books him on first class or business class minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sends to New York. Oh,
Listen, I have no problem with her intelligence. I have no problem with her relationship with Jonah. I just think she's got to cool it with the way she interacts with Tom Hanks specifically.
She is pretty rude.
Get your head out of your ass and talk to him like a normal person for the 3 seconds he needs to talk to his child.
Would you say that if she were her father?
What?
if she were her father?
What?
She's Jessica's father.
I'm losing my... What's happening?
She's Jessica's father.
Who's Jessica's father?
Jessica's father.
Time travel.
Jessica's father.
Holy shit. Crispin Glover's mother is my lover.
I liked the appearance of Jessica when they turn around in that little egg chair.
Yeah.
And then when they turn back around in their little feet.
Oh, it's so cute.
As soon
Pretty
as that
cute.
started happening, I was like, I remember the scene because of that chair. And I was like, that chair. I remember when I saw this movie when I was younger, I was like, that's a cool chair.
8's too young. They should be like 11.
What are you talking about?
9
like
would
hanging
be
out
okay.
alone in a room together.
No,
That's
just
why he
like
opened the door.
they're. Yeah, but like,
What are you talking
I
about?
feel like you're not worried at 8. They're not like listening to the
He
Beatles
doesn't
backwards
know.
at 8.
Oh, okay. Now I would actually say 9 is the age, because 9 was the age of like music interest, and maybe she's 9 and he's 8. Maybe she's bringing him into a new era.
Oh, she's like a cool
Check
older
out this
kid.
rock music. Oh, he is. Wait, she is saying check out this rock music because she's like, if you play it backwards, it says Paul is dead.
Yeah, that's
She's
a good
the
joke
cool,
too.
She's the cool music kid. Now he's going to get into rap and metal, and Tom Hanks isn't going to know how to relate to the boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Annie will. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Just
know, I
kidding. I have no idea.
Victoria.
Yes.
I want to talk about Victoria.
Yes.
The girlfriend.
She's the first girlfriend that Tom Hanks dips his
I think
toe.
let's not use
Okay,
labels
let's
here.
not.
Even girlfriend, just woman he is
He
seeing.
says he's dating.
Yeah, they're dating.
Dating.
That's
Okay.
different.
Is
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
Then
It can be.
girlfriend. That's fair.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would say
I've
if you
been
go on
married
like
for my whole
a
life.
third date with someone, you're dating that person.
I mean, granted, she did come over and meet his child on date 2, so maybe he's just moving pretty fast.
Well, as
But
far as
also,
we know.
who knows?
Someone you're dating's not your,
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. You could be dating multiple people, for
True.
example.
but
Yeah.
then they could all be your girlfriend.
Depends
boyfriend.
on who. It
Depends
depends.
on how many of them you've had a
Child.
conversation with.
Yeah,
So, girlfriend
Victoria.
label
A
is more
specific
serious
conversation.
than dating.
I think so.
Okay. Whatever. Victoria is, they are dating.
Yes.
yes.
There you go.
And if
You're so mad about this.
so bad, I feel like the movie also tells us that she sucks because she has a weird laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm mad that this movie tells us people aren't a good fits because of things about their bodies they can't control.
But again, do you feel like that was intentional in that it was like, this is literally it? This is the only thing you might find like uncomfortable about these pairings?
Yeah, Victoria's great.
That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't break up with her in the movie, does he?
No.
No.
No. So
But he's holding hands.
I
with
mean,
another
he's
lady,
definitely
but I guess
like-
we can
don't-
do that, huh?
We don't even know.
Yes, they have had no exclusivity conversation.
We don't know that.
They bang in that elevator, right? Is that what you're saying?
No,
There's a child and a ghost.
It's a ghost. Oh, the ghost.
I want to say I felt personally persecuted
Oh.
by the butt of the joke being that she had a weird laugh and laughed frequently. I will say that.
Why?
No reason.
Okay.
Check out our one negative review.
Come on. Let it go. It was like 7,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But also, fuck that person.
I agree.
For real.
Yeah, I think the problem, Dan, and I know you've kind of touched on this, is like, I think most rom-coms are so much more heavy-handed and stupid.
Yeah.
That like we are coded to understand like these weird things about these people means they're bad.
Yeah.
But like it seems like maybe they are trying to subvert that a little bit by being like, literally, these are the only things you might have a problem with of these two pairings.
Yeah. I guess that's it. It's like they're still good.
They're still fine.
and we have to make tough choices.
Victoria's trying her best to get to know Jonah. You know,
She's doing great.
she's great.
She's got the biggest brooch I've ever
oh
seen.
my God.
It's like the
Date
Queen's
one.
crown jewel. She comes out.
Yeah. It's a shame that AAA Detectives
Oh, hell
was
yeah.
behind her. He couldn't have gotten a shot of that
All
brooch.
right. There are a collection of MVPs in this movie,
Okay.
and one of them is
Really?
the AAA detective agency that
Yes.
Annie hires because she's a creep.
Yep.
Yes, through the magic of computers, which she
Yeah.
first uses like, I don't know, newspaper database dot
Come.
newspaper. So it's just like, find Sam, whatever his name is.
Baldwin.
Baldwin. And then the computer is
Yes.
like, found 200 Sams, select to print or enter factors. Then she enters some factors.
By underlining a word.
Yes. And then immediately goes to like newspaperfacts.org and it's like AAA detective.
Yeah.
Find Sam Baldwin.
Yeah, the loudest clicking camera that there ever was.
I cannot believe that they both didn't just like look over and like, why is that man with a fedora taking photos of us?
It's fine. He was above
He's
them.
AAA.
He's AAA,
That's
Beth.
true. Okay, you're right.
You think AAA is going to bring that loud camera on the same floor as their
No.
table? No.
That's single A kind of business.
Exactly. AAA is going to go to the maitre d' and be like, I need balcony seating ASAP.
Yeah, I am first in the yellow pages.
AAA.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why they do it.
Yep.
Smart.
I was just telling my kid about the yellow pages the other
Oh,
day.
yeah. How'd that go?
We were talking about things you used to sit on to get you to like when you needed to raise it up, like that's what it was good for.
Amazing.
Even back when it was the only way to find a phone number, it was like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this giant book? Raise my monitor up and sit on it.
Oh, sure.
I tried to do that thing where you fold down the page. You know, you fold down each individual page as a
What?
triangle, and you're making basically like
Oh,
a thing that you would set in the middle of your table as a decoration.
yeah.
Whoa.
And I remember getting like halfway through the phone book, and it's really long,
Yeah.
and thinking, I don't want the thing at the end of this. And I just stopped and never looked back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Other MVPs.
Please.
A lot at the airport.
Oh, yes.
But
There's so many extras in this movie.
my favorite guy is, I guess it's a parody. It's the
Okay.
guy with like a couple bags and he's like, oh, he's got two suitcases.
Yeah.
Those look heavy, but not comically heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
But then paired with the guy in front of him who's
Yes.
just no baggage,
No.
fucking long trench coat, walking out of the airplane.
That
cool
man
as
is an
shit.
assassin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or-
he's air
Do
marshal.
you think that guy's carrying his bag?
Whoa.
Oh, that guy's his bag man?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's his like
I love that.
assistant
Love
man.
that.
And they're assassins.
Yes.
Yes, they're still
I mean,
assassins,
definitely.
obviously. Also, airport, we have deplaning cowboy.
Yep.
Deplated cowboy,
Great.
very good.
We have, I don't know,
got a
tracksuit.
rollerblading guy.
That was in the Empire State Building.
in the
wasn't
Empire
it?
State Building.
He was like a courier or something, right?
And obviously, Elevator Ghost.
Oh yeah. I thought but before we leave the airport,
please.
what about the two guys with the cigar and the cigarette?
Oh, the cabbie
The cabbies. We did not get hot dog cart vendors.
No, but they had
This
hot
is
dog
close, though.
vendor energy.
Yes, they did. Hell yes, they did. Both of them were smoking. Both of them were aggressively flagging down a cab for Jonah, the unaccompanied minor at the airport.
Hey, New York in the early 90s.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh, where you going? Empire State. Oh,
Oh, get out of Times Square. Get yourself a lady, a special
get
lady.
yourself a hoe. They call a lot
They
of
say hoe.
a lot of hoe calling in this.
I mean, it's just Jonah's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awkward. There's also equating transvestites to something that's like,
Serial killers. And
Yeah.
other-
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really bad.
No.
It's the 90s, baby.
Yeah.
There's also like another big 90s is like the explicit mention of condom use.
Yes.
This happens in 90s movies. Like, we got to let people know they're having safe sex or else everyone will hate them.
Lose their minds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but let's get back
To Elevator Ghost.
to Elevator
Please.
Ghost.
Please.
There is a man standing in the elevator as I can't think of her name right
Annie.
now. Annie is going to the top of the building.
We've already been told no more elevator runs tonight.
No.
That's right.
And she convinces who might be Joe Prado
Yes.
Captain of the elevators.
because
He loves his wife.
loves his wife. And she talks about the movie Affair to
Remember.
And I almost forgot.
Uh-huh.
He says, my wife loves that movie. Go ahead. She gets in the elevator. There is an elderly man with a mustache. He lets her off of the elevator and then disappears into the night.
Yep.
There's literally and the other elevator guy who brings up Tom Hanks and his kid. And for the rest of the movie, we only see that guy. The camera never reveals the older man again.
No.
True.
It's because he definitely died on that elevator.
Yes.
And
I was the first elevator operator of the Empire State Building. 1972. Whatever year that building was finished.
Well, oh, that's right, because it was started in 29 or 30.
Sure.
It was started like after the Great Depression started. And it should have never been built, but they had already sunk so much money into it. But by the end, they were building it so efficiently, they were doing a floor a day or something, a floor a week. It was unreal.
wow.
Wow.
Yep. But they also had crews of like 4 people. And if one of the crew members didn't show up, the whole crew couldn't work that day. And there were just people literally waiting.
Oh, no.
But they kept those teams together because they all worked together really well. And it was incredibly dangerous work.
So dangerous you might
Die in an elevator shaft.
By an elevator, you
shaft.
absolutely could. A lot of people died on that
sure.
build. Other important fact to know that kind of ruins the movie a little bit or tempers it some is if you've ever been to the, you guys have been to the Empire State Building?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you?
I mean, yeah, maybe.
It's a lot of elevators. Like you don't just go up the one elevator all the way to the top.
Really?
Yeah, you queue. You go up one elevator. You get in another queue. You go up another elevator. I think there are at least 2 or 3.
I don't remember how many elevators.
It's a lot.
Well, I guess we'll have to take Molly's word for it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It was when I went. Maybe since then.
I mean, elevator technology is, I'm sure, exponentially growing over time.
Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think they had elevators that would go up a whole.
I mean, if they were building it
In the
very
30s?
slowly and floor by floor, there might have been just by design, like, we got to stop this fucking elevator shaft because we have to finish the rest of the building.
Yeah. Okay, I'll look it up.
Please do.
Yeah. Wait, so are you saying you would go up an elevator to a floor and then have
Get
to walk
another
up
line.
more stairs?
Tra-
No, you
Transfer
get
to a
another
different
lane,
elevator.
another line, and
Yeah.
get onto a different elevator.
But why wouldn't they just make it one elevator?
I don't know.
Maybe
Or
it's
maybe
the
they have like
architect.
actual offices in that building. Maybe it's just
I mean,
for
I
tourists.
hope they're using that building for something.
Gotta be, right?
When I was the first elevator operator, I got trampled at a rush to get to elevator number 2.
We had to put a second elevator in.
And now I haunt this elevator shaft.
Looking for young
and only
lovers.
I only appear on Valentine's night
Valentine's
because I
night.
missed my Valentine's night after being trampled to death.
Sad story.
It is sad. But
What are you gonna do?
what are you going to do?
There's another ghost, which is the mom.
Oh, yeah.
Ghost mom.
Actual ghost mom.
She
Ghost mom.
shows up, and then she quickly goes into the body of a puppet that's in the sunset.
Oh yeah, we got another.
Spooky
Ghost
clown
parent.
doll.
Why did they do that?
I don't know because
It's so
kids
dis-
love clowns. Put a clown in the room.
Someone got my sister a weird porcelain doll in the like late 80s.
No.
Why? It was
No.
in a clown outfit.
Ugh.
No.
Black
But-
and white.
Like in movies now, that's like many times where we've seen a weird, like, why are they putting that in the frame?
Is
It's
that like-
distracting.
Is it like a club or like a
Oh,
wink to other like props masters out there?
Oh, maybe. Do you think
Oh.
every prop designer has a signature clown that they put on their sets?
That would be my favorite
That'd be
thing
amazing.
ever.
I mean, maybe that's like the thing is like,
I hope that's true.
What'd you get in your set? Well, we got a moped in the background, but keep your eye out for the clown
That's the
king.
gold standard.
I love
Yeah.
the
Pop
idea.
pranks.
I love the idea of someone watching a movie, seeing a particular clown in a child theater, like, ha, Ricky.
You got it.
The Prop Masters Guild each has a clown. You're given a clown when you first are entered into the guild.
But
Amazing.
you don't become like fully initiated until you get it into at least one major motion
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
Because I suppose it's true. Like, you never know if it's definitely going to be in frame. So,
Yeah.
like, that's
Yeah.
part of the magic of it. It's like, you got to, like,
And you got to be
pick your
super
spot.
subtle if you're gonna
Yeah.
shift it.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
this one was very distracting.
Oh, it really
they linger
was.
on this door shutting, and it's like right next to.
You're supposed to be LOLing that Tom Hanks is, like, very confused by Jessica because why wouldn't he be, Molly?
Yeah.
But all you can think about is this creepy clown.
In their giant houseboat. We haven't even talked about the goddamn houseboat.
Oh my God. 90% of our conversation during this movie was Dan doubting, not being able to get over,
No.
like just pointing out some other facet of this freaking
I
houseboat.
can't
I-
believe how big inside this houseboat is.
I'm going to say
2 floors.
when every time they cut to Tom Hanks at home, I think 90 to 100% of those cuts, I then said aloud, "This is a boat?" Mind blowing.
It is. And they're there. They're there at the pier.
It's on the water. He
Yeah.
gets in his little boat to go to the beach to play football.
but it's not like a boat that moves.
No.
It's just a house
But
that
like he could
is
unmoor,
on the water.
right? If he really wanted to.
Can't you put a a motor on it or whatever?
Yeah, why not?
Or is
Or
it just
scoot around in that little
Well, I mean, you
big
okay.
house?
I've seen a show, and
Okay.
apparently Nora Ephron was inspired by this old house
Oh.
episode where they fixed a house in
Oh,
Seattle.
Bob Vila.
Houseboat? They fixed
Houseboat.
a houseboat?
They did.
Nice.
But yeah,
So
you
we
can't
got this
appar-
boat house. It's still underwater. So, I just figure there's probably some minor repairs that need to be done.
In Seattle, they worked on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this old house was all Boston.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe it was a special ep.
It could
Maybe I
have been. I
misread
mean,
it.
it's very possible that I just know that they all have like the strongest Boston
the best.
accents.
They sure do.
Yeah.
That's real. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, you can put a motor on the houseboats
Yes.
and move them short distances. Like
Okay.
if you're moving to a different pier.
Or like escaping a zombie horde.
Yes.
Which is what that's really for.
That's what it's really
Who are we
for.
kidding?
But, and truthfully, probably they didn't film inside an actual houseboat.
Molly.
It was probably a set. But
What?
there are houseboats that are that big.
And
That's the point.
they're always at the dock.
Yes.
It's not really it's not really a boat if it doesn't go anywhere.
It can
It
go
can,
somewhere.
though. Like it technically could.
I would call it a floating house.
Yes.
Oh, that's not what people
I know.
who live in them
I
call
know
them.
it's a houseboat, but like if someone was like, Beth, you get to name this thing, I would call it a floating house.
Leonardo da Vinci comes to you. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, Beth, I invent a new house that floats on the water.
What I call it?
Like a boat. What do you want to call it?
And I would say floating house, Leonardo.
Mamma mia, Bet, you call it for the
Oh,
house.
Beth, you want to try on my wingsuit? I just sketched it out in one of my many sketchbooks. I'm a Leonardo da Vinci.
I drew a circle.
Oh, what if a sexy man had half a dozen arms and some of them didn't have the skin on them? That's why you drew that, right? Yeah.
What you're missing on the podcast is the arms that go with the Leonardo da Vinci version.
They can hear it. I bet they can hear the
over
arms.
the arms.
Apologies to our whatever century Italian listeners. Florentian? I don't remember where he's
Yeah,
from.
18th century.
I don't know.
He's in
Oh,
one of the
no, older
Assassin's
than
Creed
that.
games.
It's
Okay.
like at least like
Assassin's Creed 2 era.
1600s.
Great.
Wasn't the Renaissance in the 1600s?
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Renaissance.
I took European history and remembered nothing.
Well,
yeah,
what were we
Look
talking
that
about?
up. Don't tweet at us.
yeah. Don't tweet at us. Twitter's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's dead to
Bye,
us.
Twitter.
Send us an email. hello@totesregal.com.
Or call us.
612-089. Put-a-do. The last 4 letters don't matter, but you do.
2 G's and pod. Or go to the website and see the actual number.
Yeah, and you just click on it.
I have wardrobe down on my list of topics.
Okay.
Oh, I know why. So we all enjoy noticing.
We're just not going to let him talk?
Well, I don't know why.
Oh, you don't?
No.
You wrote down
You
the
wrote
quote.
it down.
No,
Yeah.
you wrote it down.
No,
I wrote it.
he said to write it down.
I said write it down, and then you said I've got a quote that I wrote down, and I was like, I know which
I
one.
was struggling with how many D's are in
That's what
wardrobe.
it was. You just couldn't spell.
It's
wardrobe.
one.
Yeah.
One, I mean, they did try to make a timeless movie with this,
Yeah.
right? But the 90s fashions definitely come through.
Yeah.
The clothes are fairly flowing, and there are supersized
Barely.
like pockets in places you wouldn't
Oh,
necessarily
I was
expect.
having trouble.
There was a scene in the movie where Annie Meg Ryan is going to Sam Baldwin's house, which is bananas.
She's
As a reporter,
Sure.
no,
No.
she's not
She
going.
doesn't
as a
have one of those
reporter.
little notepads. She doesn't have a hat that says press in it.
She abuses her powers.
She uses AAA detectives.
Absolutely abuses her credentials.
The point of this story is that she is walking towards their floating house.
Yes,
Is that correct?
it's a floating,
Floating
house.
house.
Correct.
Mamma mia!
Oh my god.
She's wearing a very large, almost parachute-esque raincoat.
It's so
Dan
big.
Jaquette out loud said, God, clothes were loose.
They were. You look
he
at
was outraged. God, clothes were loose.
Back in the 90s.
back in the 90s, I didn't see any like heavy pleating, but that was also this era where you get like 12 pleats on a pant.
It was
Sure.
a lot of fabric.
But that trench is like a full-on nightgown.
Yeah. Yeah, she does look like she could just catch the wind off the dock and
Just
That's
just
her
like
escape
sail
become a
away.
sailboat.
What's her escape plan if she gets embarrassed?
She's like the mama rabbit in
What?
That rabbit is always catching the runaway bunny.
Oh, I know
To a
this book.
sailboat.
Yeah.
What are you
didn't read The Runaway
talking
Bunny?
about?
You ever read The Runaway Bunny?
No.
Sorry, your mom didn't want to keep you close.
It's pretty.
Wow. I
My
mean, she was
goodness.
pretty much emotionally checked out by the time I was born. Molly, my parents are divorced. I was very depressed in college. We've already established this. This is canon. Everything's fine.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Yeah, those are great. And then Tom Hanks has this shirt,
Ooh.
billowy shirt that's tucked into jeans.
Hell yeah.
That the breast pockets are
Huge.
most of the front of the shirt.
You could put an iPad in there.
He's got to put his architecture equipment in there.
You could get a full protractor in there.
Yeah, he's got like a rolled up blueprint, one of those little squares.
Yeah.
Honestly,
drafting table.
that would have destroyed me if we just watched him like load things in these pockets. Just like full roll down and like take a protractor
Yeah.
and like a compass, put it in the other one.
Amazing.
That would have been great.
Yeah, it would.
Write that sketch people.
Yeah.
What?
Current. Very current.
Yeah.
Oh,
big shirt.
Big
pockets.
shirt pockets, Tom
Shirt
Hanks,
pockets.
sleeping
We'll call
Seattle.
it Sleeveless in Seattle.
Oh, they did have sleeves, though, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
Big
no, they did.
sleeves. Too much sleeves.
Too much sleeves in
much
Seattle.
sleeves.
Oh, real quick, there's a moment in this movie that I forgot came from this movie because my sister does it all the time during the holidays. Meg Ryan is driving back to Baltimore or wherever. It doesn't matter. And now I'm just
There's no way to know.
No. She's listening to Jingle Jingle Christmas music, and they keep going horses, 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 and then she keeps going horses, horses, horses. My sister did that all the time we were growing up. I'd forgotten where it came from. I don't know if it came from her watching this movie or it came from her listening to the song that she is listening to in this movie. Probably both.
I had never noticed it about
It's
that
amazing.
song before. They are just saying horses, horses,
And then
horses.
she keeps saying it.
I love that scene because she talks to herself in the car the same way that I talk to myself. Just like kind of sing along to
Yeah.
songs and stuff.
And saying like no thank you when you're changing the station.
Yes, exactly.
I don't want to dwell on it too long, but I do want to mention I did read up on Wikipedia.
She'll share them with us. We're excited to learn about
Tom
all the
Hanks
things
and Rita
that she read
Wilson
about on
trying to figure out when they got married
Wikipedia.org or
and when
.com.
the old
I can't
wife was
ever
around
remember.
Colin
Just
Hanks'
Google
mom.
Wikipedia.
And on the Wikipedia page is kind of a trip. I encourage you to glance
For
through
the
it.
movie?
For the movie, Sleepless in Seattle.
Part of it.
The original writer of the screenplay was this guy Arch.
Arch?
Arch.
Okay.
Just one
It's the
name?
last name. I don't know what the first name is.
Oh, okay. He
But the
didn't- he
reason
didn't
I
go
remember
as
it
Arch.
is I believe that Arch has carefully cultivated this particular page.
Okay.
Oh.
That name comes up many times, and there is not a single thing brought up that his refutation isn't included.
Oh.
And it is really like verging on hot goss, spilling tea all the time.
So this is like how dare Nora Ephron
pretty much
like destroy
It's
my
like
work?
Everybody knows that Nora Ephron, and she gets all the credit because she directed it and she
Mm-hmm,
did write the final draft. And also her sister, she brought her sister in to
That's
help
fun.
do some rewrites at the end, which that was very cool. And apparently her parents were both screenwriters, which I did not know. At any rate,
Nepotism.
yeah. I guess
That's like the best response to nepotism I've ever heard.
That's fun.
I mean,
Charming.
you know.
at any rate, she got all this credit for it, and it is just a lot of explaining how pivotal Arch was, and Arch's feelings about Nora Ephron, and
Oh.
Arch's feeling all the way through.
I love
Man, it is a strong through line.
It's amazing.
But in that, I did pick up a couple of cool, interesting things.
Some arch facts, some hot arch
I
facts.
mean, I've already given you the Arch facts as far as I could tell. But that was the second child actor to play Jonah.
What?
The first child actor was on set for like 2 or 3 days,
Chet
and Tom
Hanks.
Hanks was like,
Was it Chet Hanks?
it was not. Tom Hanks was like, this kid is unruly and disruptive.
Oh.
And so Nora Ephron had remembered the kid who does play Jonah,
Jonah.
from audition,
Huh.
and was
Wow.
like, bring that kid in, and he did great.
Wow.
Wow.
You did well.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
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 Did you think he was annoying or did you think he was charming?
You were the one who
I
thought
was
he'd be
the one
annoying.
who thought he'd be irritating. Neither. I thought he was a complex character.
He was.
He was
Yeah.
neither.
Yeah.
Not all one thing.
I do think he's going to have a hard time.
The actor or the
After-
character?
Probably both.
Oh.
But the character Tom Hanks points out, like, you're not going to like any woman because they aren't your mom. And I think he's going to be really disappointed.
That's true. He barely knows her.
Right.
He's putting a lot on this Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she likes the same third baseman
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they do.
Right.
I think he's going to have a hard time. And he does say, I'm going to go meet my new mom.
It's true.
A lot of
Yeah.
pressure.
Go.
It is true. Although I will say I have had some friends who have become stepmoms to kids.
Brag.
And they have, I know, sorry, no big deal. I know some people in different family orientations. No big deal. Couple, 3 different ones. Probably. Anyway.
What is
point
happening right now?
I don't know. I
Keeps
would
a log of all her divorced friends.
Oh, right.
Beth, edit all of that. Make me sound cool.
And menacing.
And this.
Molly is wearing sunglasses and smoking a cigarette.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, did
I'm gonna
Clarice the
bribe the
babysitter just walk in?
producer.
It's me, Clarice, the babysitter.
They just found her at a bar.
Really?
She was not an actor
Yeah.
before
Yeah,
this.
she was plugged in
out.
next to the jukebox. It was her first scene. She's just like, and I get like, that's the whole joke. She's like a detached teen, but like, she's completely still focused on nothing for the first scene she's in. And I was like, is this an android that he has built to
She's a
watch your
classic
child?
Grunge burnout.
Yeah.
The next
Seattle,
time you-
93. Forget about it.
The next time you see her, she's like kind of like, I was going to use the word bouncing, but it's more like, you know, that like DVD menu that kind of like floats to
Yeah,
a corner and
yeah.
then kind of like slowly
Yeah.
like bounces off
Yeah.
the wall, that kind of bouncing.
Yes.
She's like she's helping look for Jonah and she's just walking slowly
And
to each
quietly
room.
says, Jonah?
Yeah, it was the
One
best. That was the best
good.
comedic timing because Tom Hanks is getting her. Jonah.
Yeah.
Jonah.
Yeah.
So
She was great,
good.
but also it was actually unsettling and I thought she was a robot.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Oh no. Anyway, a lot of my friends who have become step parents have really like loved it and didn't have trouble bonding with the kids.
I hope so.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's
I mean, I know families in
problem.
Atlanta, for example, a place I've been, no
Wow.
big deal, who are like that.
okay.
Yeah, so I know like
Is it somebody famous? Or?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm
You're
just-
being like
Yeah,
really
you're being
cryptic about it.
weirdly.
Who's the most famous divorced person in Atlanta?
Ooh, great question. Probably one of the housewives. I don't know at this
Yeah.
point.
I do know that one of those housewives
Yeah.
bought
Your house?
no.
A wife?
A beautiful Range Rover, like fully tricked out and customized.
Uh-huh.
They had it shipped, and she just didn't pick it up.
What? What do you mean?
She just didn't get it from the dealership.
Oh, okay. I mean, half of them, spoiler alert, half of them are actually bankrupt and they are just renting those houses for the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
That's
For
not very
real.
real.
What do you mean?
Fake housewives.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Reality television.
It's all
isn't.
artifice and they're monsters. But also maybe some of them were just trying to get by. I don't know. Read John Hodgman's book where he is on a plane with the situation. It's very enlightening.
Oh, really?
That's fun.
I mean, not the whole book is not about his flight with the situation.
I would love it if it was.
I would
I
too.
think I saw the situation getting filmed in Miami one time.
Sure.
The
that
guy.
sounds like a thing.
not
Yeah.
okay.
They go on vacation now. That's the show.
Oh.
So they probably were in Miami.
It was wild.
Molly, did this movie pass the Bechdel Wallace
Great
test?
question.
You know what? It sure did. Thank you for asking, Beth.
All right.
Did it pass without Meg Ryan?
Ooh.
No, I don't think
I don't
so.
think so either.
It was like Megan, what was it, Megan Mom or was it Megan Rosie that passed it?
Well, Meg and Rosie passed it
For
multiple
sure.
times.
Yeah. But when in that family scene, did she? I don't know. Because, like, what's her name is always talking about Harold and the Bees.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mom was talking about anything else.
Well, Mom was talking about her feelings
Yeah.
for her dad, but I think
It's a
there was
little gray
probably
area
if you
though,
were gonna
right?
like go line by line, you could probably find something that
Okay.
wasn't.
Yeah.
It was more about her feelings
Yeah.
and emotions versus like
Yeah.
the dad.
Rosie for sure, though.
Mm-hmm.
Who did a very good job, by the way. I liked Rosie's character a lot.
Me too.
She was very like funny in a like not over the top way. Like she was just sort of like, oh, she's like her fun friend who's just very supportive, but also understands how like bananas this is. She also has an amazing. Maybe that was the stunt, Beth. We're trying to figure out why there were stunt people in this movie.
Yeah.
When Meg Ryan is writing this letter to Sleepless in Seattle and then crumples it up, they're chatting and she walks back to the kitchen and she just kind of tosses it casually. Rosie O'Donnell catches it with a grace and poise of a maitre d' catching a shrimp
Yep.
Rockford
or whatever that was.
Snail.
Snail, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
But also Rockford Peach. Dan and I crafted this theory that this movie clinched the jobs for two actors in two different properties. One,
League of Their Own.
Legaless in Seattle.
Yep.
League of Their Own. This is how Rosie got the job. Someone saw
No.
her.
Opposite.
Okay, if you just want to ruin the bit.
Oh, I'm
before
sorry.
I
There's a
even
bit. Oh, go ahead.
Finish the.
Yeah, it's dumb to think that catching a piece of paper would qualify you for a baseball movie. So that's the joke.
Yeah, the joke
that's
is
the
that's
joke.
absurd.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. I'm sorry I interrupted.
The rest of
It's a
the
good joke. It's
conversation was that I just don't even have the energy for
I'm
it.
sorry the truth bums you
David
out.
Hyde Pierce plays a well-to-do man in a movie with the word Seattle in it,
Yes.
and with a call-in therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's how he got the job, I'm pretty sure. But that's clearly not what happened because we don't live in a world of magic.
Oh, no.
Just like Meg Ryan realizes until maybe she doesn't realize it.
I'm so sorry.
Sounds
broke
like
the
I need to
podcast.
go talk about a movie on top of the Empire State Building to rekindle my magic. I don't know.
You know who else is in League of Their Own? Real quick, is Bill Pullman.
Oh, he
He's
plays
Gina
the husband.
Davis's
Oh,
husband.
yeah.
He's also like a pretty good husband who gets left. Is that true?
No, I don't
No,
think
he
gets
supports.
left.
You're thinking
Yeah.
of the Amazon Prime League of Their Own series, which is very good.
I'm not. I haven't watched that at all.
Okay.
Seen that.
It's good. Check it out.
Bezos.
It's got Abby
Jacobson.
Jacobs.
Oh, yes. Abby Jacobs.
And
Abby Jacobson. Abby.
Hoffman.
Abby J.
whatever her real name is, not the one from Not Her Name in Broad City. Also, Darcy Carden's in it. Also, a bunch of other people. It's great.
That's a good cast.
It's a stacked cast of not men. They crush it. Rosie O'Donnell shows up at one point.
Tom Hanks.
Abby Jacobson.
Tom Hanks is in
Jacobson.
it.
Great.
League of
Not
Their
in the
Own.
show. He's in the movie.
He's in the movie. He
Yes.
probably saw Rosie O'Donnell catch the paper. Molly, this is a joke.
Right, when they're watching the movie afterwards, he was just like, "Listen, we're starting up this baseball movie, Rosie. You got to get in on this."
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, my mind is being blown right now. So, did Nora Ephron direct A League of Their Own?
No, that's a
No.
Marshall, right?
That
Oh.
was a Marshall.
Okay.
Yes.
But it's a lot of the same cast.
yes, it is. She saw Rosie O'Donnell in A League of Their Own, but she was inspired to cast her based on how well Whoopi Goldberg did in Ghost.
Explain.
That it was a big deal for Whoopi Goldberg, who had been known as a comedian, right? To be an actor in a movie as a supporting character, and it worked really well.
I see.
She's
and
good in that movie.
Nora Ephron thought, oh, it'd be really great to have somebody funny. Because remember, she was trying to turn this into a comedy, too.
Right.
So, and she thought Rosie O'Donnell did great in A League of Their Own.
Which she did.
And apparently, somebody else pushed for Rosie O'Donnell because they were a big fan of Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna in that movie. Some kid, somebody's son. I don't know whose son.
Chet Hanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chet Hanks.
probably.
He put on a terrible Jamaican accent and told
God.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Chet.
Hot Boy Summer.
Wait, who is Chet Hanks?
Chet Hanks is the son of Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, and it's mind blowing that they're related.
Yeah.
He's
like
an odd duck.
He's an odd duck.
Is he?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's like really trying to be like a cool rap guy.
But like,
But he's like so corny.
yeah, he's like really
Where you're
bad
like
at
not
it.
even mad about how appropriative he's been because he's like such a dummy.
He seems like almost disconnected from reality in some
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah, it's weird because he's the son of just very famous and rich people. So
Yeah, it's
But
weird how
maybe-
it's weird how the child of a very well-off family would somehow be like detached and disassociated from social norms and
Just
like
buy
regular
Twitter.
behaviors.
Chet, I'd get back on Twitter. Chet bought it.
Oh hell yeah! Twit boy summer.
Well, I want to close out some bets real quick before
Please.
we get to our final stuff. The first bet, most important bet, was butts matter
Yes.
from someone, and yes, there
They
is
do
some
matter.
jokes about how good butts.
Molly made a frowny face because you know it was Molly.
I don't know, it was Molly.
Dan doesn't remember who wrote those notes down. He just opens that notebook.
It's like memento over here. It's part of the comedy of Tom Hanks is back on the dating scene. Everything's changed. Women
Yes.
pay for dinner and like butts.
Yes, and tiramisu.
Tiramisu.
That was-
That's a solid joke.
Solid joke.
He thinks tiramisu is a
The
sex move.
act, yeah.
But it's really...
Delicious dessert.
it's Italian.
You want to take that again?
Oh, Oh, better Leonardo da Vinci. I'll get some tiramisu for you. Follow it. How?
What? He's a wolf man?
Yeah, did you know?
Oh, Beth, please chain me to my bed. The full moon is coming tonight. I do not want to hurt anyone in the city of Venice or Florence or wherever it is I lived. I'm Leonardo da Vinci, famous Sleepless in Seattle supporting actor. Rob Reiner, right? He was playing Leonardo da Vinci, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God.
Yes, there's an LOL moment where Tom Hanks is like, do I have an okay butt? And he has to lift up his jacket, Dan, because it's so goddamn flowy and loose.
Giant. And his pants are so loose, too. Like, how are you even going to see his butt,
That's why Rob Reiner doesn't commit. He's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I don't understand how anybody can see anybody's butt in those loose pants.
Maybe that's why it's such a big deal. They want to see that butt.
Yeah, I guess when your butt is like that good, you can see it through loose pants.
Oh, right. Good point. I bet Maloney would fucking burst out of any pants in the 90s. Christopher Maloney has an insane ass. Look it up. The internet is obsessed with his ass. Look it up.
All right.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing he can even like wear a fake gun holster on Law and Order because his ass is so thick.
Just got a big butt?
It's just
It's very powerful.
it's so powerful. No, Dan's right. He could crush a walnut with that.
It's very powerful.
Yes.
And the last bet I'll close up is the year this movie came out. I don't think we talked about how it was 1993.
3 for 3.
3 for
Boom,
3,
boom, boom, boom.
93. Dan Beth.
Boom, boom,
Nailed
boom,
it.
boom.
Nailed it. Molly didn't nail it.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you already crushed my spirit earlier, so you
Yeah.
really are the
So
winner.
sorry.
Crush something tonight at least.
Wow.
Before we get to our final ratings of the movie, we
We're
just
friends.
watched Sleepless in Seattle, Five
Yeah.
Moon Friends. We like to turn it over
Wait,
to
is
Discord.
this fan engagement?
Is fan engagement. We engage with fans on Discord.
How would you get on Discord as a fan?
Totesrecall.patreon
Nope.
No.
/com.
Oh, Dan.
Patreon.com/TotesRecall.
There it is.
Become a patron today for as little as $1 a month. You can get on the Discord. We can chitty chat, and we'll ask you for Q's and C's. We're going to record, which we have done.
No upper limit to the donation amount.
That's true.
And patrons help us do things like the live show.
Very true.
True.
And extra, so it's like Hanksgiving.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You think we could buy pizza twice a month without patrons?
Like
no.
literally, we
No.
can't.
No.
We got peek behind the curtain. Butternut squash pizza. Good.
Yeah.
I liked
Good,
it.
good job.
Perfect for Thanksgiving.
I
Pizza
liked it.
place.
Yes. Hey. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Pizza.
Show me what a cinema fast.
What?
All right.
So now he's a Toreador wolfman from Florence,
He's been
Italy.
alive for a long time. He's
true.
lived in a lot of different
He's a
cultures.
vampire
Yeah.
or a wolfman. Can wolfmen be immortal?
Yeah. I think
Sure.
so.
That's why they're always fighting with the vampires.
That makes sense. No, that's right. You're
Yeah,
right.
in Underworld.
I've seen Underworld.
Yeah.
I think I've seen one of the Underworlds.
Are they always? They
I
always
mean,
are.
why would you pick beef with somebody that's like
Just around for a little while.
just around for
Great
a little
point.
while?
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah. Okay. The reference machine asks, why can't people sleep in Seattle?
Great question.
Probably all that fucking salmon they're eating.
What?
Whoa.
That keeps you up.
Some real.
I thought it was because
their
they're sleeping on
wives are dead.
on floating houses.
Yeah, and all the rain.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Clink, clink, clink,
they
clink.
had to bring in water trucks
No rain?
because there was no rain.
no.
Wow, wow,
Blind
wow.
melon
People in
out there.
Seattle did not care for this film production.
What?
What'd you say?
Said a
Blind
real
melon.
blind melon out there. You might remember their hit, No Rain.
I do. Oh, I get it now.
That is tough.
That's not how that's.
How dare you?
Bumblebee,
Yeah.
etc.
Wasn't Baltimore Dad the one that wanted cold salmon at the wedding?
Yes.
Oh,
And a
yeah. We
cucumber
don't know
salad.
if they were in Baltimore. They were.
Strawberries.
You think she drove all the way to Seattle to go to
Well, they
that
weren't
dinner?
in Seattle, but maybe they were in
PNW?
Chicago,
I don't know.
No,
man.
no.
Delaware.
They were
We're not that far away.
They were in Delaware.
Could have been Delaware.
Sure.
Miami.
Okay.
Let's say they were in Delaware.
Okay.
Put this to rest.
Thank you, Beth.
You're welcome.
Well, that I think answers the question.
Yep.
My last name's Apollo Joan asks, would the movie be better or worse if Frasier was a character in it?
Oh.
So much better.
Yeah, I think better.
1,000%.
It would give Niles more to do.
I didn't like Marsha. Dr. Marcia.
She was a little.
liked her.
I feel like she was very supportive of Jonah, but
Yeah.
I think she was a little forward with Sam.
mining pain for dollars.
Yes.
Yeah.
She literally was like, we need to take a break right before he was going to open his heart out to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then he stuck around though. So
That's true. But
Don't
he
know
did
if-
it because it's Jonah's Christmas wish.
Yeah.
But he's a
isn't-
good dad.
I don't know if Frasier would have done any better, but
Oh, I'm not saying she calls into Frasier. I'm thinking they're just friends.
okay.
And he's just like, Sam, you have to work on your posterior for women of today. Now I'm going to.
Did you know I sing? Let me do a little jazz sketch.
Hey, baby, I'm working on my buttocks. Tiramisu, the finest dining experience. I know this because of my friend who reviews restaurants at the radio station, whose name I don't remember.
I also learned tonight that both neither Kelsey Grammer nor David Hyde Pierce are British.
You didn't know that?
I thought they both were British.
Wow.
When have you ever seen either of them use an accent?
I
even?
feel like every time I see
What?
them, this is my Kazam.
'Cause they
Shazam. This is my
enunciate?
Shazam.
yep.
Did you think they were British on the show Frasier?
Yeah, I mean, I always think they're
What
British.
about their dad?
I didn't really watch Frasier. I knew it was on.
Maybe you saw it when you were half asleep and you heard Daphne talk while they were on screen. You're like, oh, they're all British in this show.
I don't watch this.
Wow.
Anyway, that's a fact
yes,
about me.
1,000% this movie would be better with Frasier in it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm going to say it. Most movies would be better with Frasier in it.
I don't know.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Give me an example of a movie that'd be worse off with Frasier.
Steel Magnolia.
Come on. Are you kidding?
That'd be terrible.
He'd come in. He'd comfort the ladies.
No.
Like, come now. The sun will shine again on this household.
Very hot day.
I have no opinion about Frasier.
Oh, my God.
Boring.
Carzon asks, is this the same movie as You've Got Mail?
No.
No. I mean,
Two leads are identical.
yes.
They were
Meg
also
Ryan.
in Joe versus the Volcano before this movie.
Yeah, but I feel like You've Got Mail, at least, I think the reason people equate the two is because, it's more of a metaphorical distance between them and You've Got Mail, but it is still they're communicating from afar and they don't really know each
Also,
other.
that's also how they marketed that movie.
That's true.
They were basically like, they're getting back together.
Well, and isn't that movie the premise is that they secretly hate each other, but then when they converse on the AOL or whatever, they actually really like each other?
Oh, they're
'Cause
bookstore owners.
Doesn't one of them own a bookstore and the other one owns a big bookstore
Yes.
and is trying to destroy
Tom
them?
Hanks
she
is like
owns
a
it indie.
Borders or whatever.
But they love chatting on the internet.
Yeah.
So
And then a guy who owns an even bigger store that's exclusively online shows up and they realize they love each other and hate capitalism.
oh, cool. Rise up.
I'm making that joke. That doesn't really, I've never
Dan,
seen
that was a
anything.
joke.
I don't know what those are.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
What was the question?
Is this movie the same
Oh,
as You've Got Mail?
Partial credit. That's my answer.
Partial credit.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I was so quick to say no.
Why?
Well,
You're welcome to have your opinion.
I mean, it's quite literally not the same movie.
yes.
Okay, sure.
They have
But
different titles.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no kid in the.
I don't think so.
Doesn't she have a kid?
Does she?
I thought she did.
I thought the books were her children.
I saw it on a plane.
I mean, I probably haven't seen that movie since it came out.
I mean, we could watch it on another Hanksgiving and we'll find
Oh,
out.
that's a
Oh,
good
there you
idea.
go.
I mean, what a movie of its moment to have the name of it be
Oh, right.
the sound from
Ugh,
AOL
gross.
of a new mail message.
Gross.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
What if you got that sound now every time you got a new email? It'd be going off
That would
constantly.
be
the
unreal.
worst.
But it used to be exciting to get email.
Yeah. And
You
now
know,
it's
your
like James
computer.
Carville emailing you 4 times in less than 24 hours,
so
James.
true.
Oh, also
Chill out.
those Yeti cooler giveaway phishing
Oh,
emails.
I hate those.
They are really making it through the spam filter.
Yeah.
to Google.
What?
Figure it out.
Did you buy a cooler?
No. It's from Dick's Sporting Goods, but
Oh, I
it's
got
not.
that one.
And it says you're winning a Yeti cooler, but you're not. It's a phishing email. Don't click
Yeah,
on the
don't
link.
click on
I've
it.
never gotten this.
But they're really breaking through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming
It
through.
did not go in my spam folder,
Right.
Yeah, it stinks.
I agree.
but it definitely looked fake.
Bring this back to Hanksgiving.
Please.
Okay.
I was at a distant relative's house,
Tom
and
Hanks?
they were and they were
The
playing
guy who's married
music.
to what's her name?
No. Well, yes. No, it's a long story.
Do they are they a step parent?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Now
wait.
I've dialed in.
I'm listening. Frasier, get it?
Frasier?
Do you get it?
I don't know.
Come on.
Come on, Dan. You are giving yourselves high fives.
I was not. Everybody at the table was giving me high fives. You heard it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
My hot dog jokes.
I mean, this story isn't worth. Jill, Beth, just go ahead and cut this out immediately.
All right.
Don't
done.
cut out my Frasier impression, though.
Okay. I'm listening.
Is that Frasier?
That was just me saying I'm listening, but
Okay.
it was
Played
a callback.
music over her computer.
Yeah.
And the problem was it was on the speakers throughout her house, but she could not turn off the "You've got mail."
Oh, no.
So we were just eating this incredibly beautiful dinner with all this very like jazzy, nice background music, and then "You've got mail."
so uncomfortable.
It was a lot, and nobody could figure out how to make it stop. You know,
Yeah.
probably a lot of us knew how to make it stop, but we couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
It's like when you see someone driving around town with their windows down and they're blasting music, and then you suddenly hear "Turn right" on.
yeah. It just
And then the music comes back in.
yeah.
Yeah, they're the same.
What happened?
What happened to you? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
listening.
If DDV asks, if not the Empire State Building,
Yeah.
what dramatic setting have you chosen for important conversations in your life? Have you? Not would you? Have you?
Have you?
God, setting. I feel like I don't think that hard.
I don't
about.
choose them. They are
They-
thrust
they-
upon me. Is
Yeah.
usually what happens.
Those moments just appear in your life.
Yeah.
Home, your home, privacy
usually
of your
in
own
my
home.
mother's kitchen.
I found out that I was going to be a big brother from my mother when I was 13 years old at Florentine's, an Italian restaurant.
Wow.
I mean, I don't think we didn't want to ruin your story.
Well, that's the end of it.
What? That's it?
So that was an important place.
You're gonna be a bigger brother. It's me, Leonardo da Vinci. Your mama hired me to give you the news. No, now I gotta go. Set fire to my neighbor who's a vampire. Wait, he's a wolf man.
He's
He
a
fights
werewolf.
vampires.
He's a
Okay,
werewolf. He
got
fights
it.
vampires,
Great.
I got engaged. No big deal.
Wow.
To my now husband. Yeah, sorry to be
Wow.
Double
Wow,
brag.
wow, wow, wow.
Oh, that's awkward.
Jesus.
We were in California in Santa Monica, and I didn't know if he was going to propose to me. And it turned out he had a whole plan for that night at a restaurant. But we happened to be on the pier in Santa Monica, and there were surfers surfing. And it was a gorgeous day, and we were standing on this pier, and we both had the thought, this would be the perfect place and moment to get engaged. And we did not get engaged in that moment. We just walked back to the car, and I nursed a little bit of disappointment. But then after we got engaged that night, I was like, man, when I was standing at the pier, he's like, I know, I felt that too. But I didn't have the ring on me.
It's like you both peeled apples the same way.
No, it was very sweet. So
Speaking of surfers, I think that's grip it and rip it is more for surfers. Rip curl.
Okay, thank
the
you.
surfboard.
First of all, that conversation happened off mic, but
sure
thank
did.
you.
Did it?
Yeah.
it did.
Dan was wondering where grip it and rip it came from.
Yeah.
Oh,
Peek
that's
behind
right.
the curtain. Dan says grip and rip it a lot at the
A
beginning
lot.
of the show before we start recording.
Yeah, whether or not we go over how the show goes.
Yeah.
Tonight we gripped it and ripped it.
Yep.
Okay.
It just sounds so gross.
Beth, have you ever had a real conversation in a weird place that
Specific
matters
place.
or whatever? What was the question? Specific place?
My phone
If
keeps
not the
locking.
Empire State Building,
Yes.
what is a
don't-
location we've
I
had an
just-
important conversation or important thing?
Yeah, I can't think of any I just feel like at home. I'm really boring. Sorry, everyone.
It's not boring.
Dramatic
Space.
setting. What dramatic setting?
I did have a conversation in space.
What?
Wow.
With Bezos?
Yeah.
What'd you tell him?
A penis
Said
rocket?
fuck off.
Yeah.
That is important.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Scott, offer on the table, $10 million a
Absolutely.
month.
Absolutely.
We will start Bezos the Clown, Bezos Stupid, the podcast trashy.
Honestly, we are open to other topics, Maybe
sure.
there's somebody else you're irritated with.
But I mean, like,
The title is set, though.
yes. And
We can be positive about things too.
we will contractually insist we get to talk shit about Jeff Bezos, though. Like, even if she wants to talk about other things, like,
Yeah.
we at least open the show every time with this
Sure.
weekend Bezos stupid.
Yeah, that's
oh,
fair.
I love that.
Yeah,
Oh, we could just do headlines.
sure.
Like Jay Leno?
No, we could just. No, I'm thinking we would just come prepared with some headlines of Bezos news,
I see.
and then we
Bezos
would
snooze.
riff.
Yeah.
Bezos the clown.
I just realized that bit is essentially like a BuzzFeed article that he just did live.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He was the original listicle. Lenos.
That's all right.
Interesting.
Is that all the Q's and C's?
That's all the Q's and C's.
thank you for the
Sorry
Q's and
we're not more
Cs.
dramatic people.
I guess.
Our rating scales, we
Please.
all remember, was hot dog hanks,
course.
which are a handkerchief with Tom Hanks' face on it, made by Tom Hanks.
Oh.
Because he is concerned about the mess you
course.
could make when eating a hot dog with ketchup,
And
mustard.
he's so concerned he'd
Whatever else.
rather have egg on his own face than yours.
An egg on a hot dog?
Whoa.
Wow.
That's all the
Chicago
toppings.
style dog right there. Am I right?
No.
Yeah, screw you, Chicago, for being so specific about your hot dogs.
Oh no, I dropped a waffle on my hot dog. Guess I'll still eat it. Make sure I put a lot of ketchup on it first, though.
Yeah, da Bears.
What?
We're ragging on Chicago's hot dog.
Chicago's got a
opinions.
real.
I know what the Chicago dog is like. It's very delicious, and there's no ketchup on it or waffles. Is
That's
that the point?
Oh my God, that's
God, Molly. Chicago dogs are delicious. I love them, but also
there's
chill
other
the
ways
fuck
that are
out.
good hot dog.
Yeah.
Put a ketchup on a hot dog.
It's fine.
Yeah.
If a child wants to put ketchup on their hot dog, don't
Or
yell
anybody.
at them.
Adults can have ketchup hot dog.
Hey, adults, you can have ketchup on hot dogs
you
too.
can put mustard on hot dog. You can put relish on hot
And
dog.
then you can pick up your hot dog. What is it?
Hot dog Hank.
Hot dog Hanks.
You flip it open.
Give him a smooch.
Press his face
Yeah.
into your face and
Yeah.
mush it around.
Yeah, and you just say like, "Thank you so much, Tom, for taking these condiments off my face."
Comes in paper or cloth.
Yeah.
Depends on your budget.
Nope. Right, Molly. That's the product. Yeah.
This is all perfect.
Yeah,
It's
great.
accurate.
Great. Dan, you gave it 5.
Yeah.
It's a classic for a reason. Everybody be charming.
I mean, I feel like everybody beat charming. I was a little, except for maybe Jessica. I had a real problem with her. And I appreciate that she is a child, and that's unfair. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I do think it was. I appreciate it for being a little different than most rom-coms. Like, I feel like it was a little more nuanced than they usually are, perhaps to its detriment, from what Dan was saying. But I had a good time. Tommy Hanks, charmed. Meg Ryan, charmed. Rosie O'Donnell, charmed. Who else is in this movie? Bill Pullman was crushed it as like the totally acceptable man for Hanks.
Going down.
Yeah, Jessica.
I get it.
I gotta
Wow.
drop it down for Jessica.
Yeah,
Well, and also there were just some, very 90s. It's the 90s stuff. That's probably whatever.
Yep. Beth, you gave it 4.
Yeah.
Like it, but no fire.
What?
Like but no fire.
Like but no fire?
Like but no fine.
What?
I can't help you.
It's no 5.
What did
No 5.
what
Not
did
a
Guy
perfect
Pearce
movie.
write in your notebook?
Wow.
Oh wait, real quick. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Oh, that's
I kissed my four
that's
Hanks.
how many Hanks?
Yes.
Or you kissed one kiss for each Hank?
That's right.
Okay.
All right. I think this movie is funny. There are many moments that are like laugh out loud funny. And I think that the actors are really great. And I also like the concept that it's like they aren't actually ever in the same space until the end of the movie. But I don't like how it's framed. So when we were talking about it earlier and the idea of like them both kind of, getting out of the rut that they were in, I feel like if it was framed in that way a little bit more, I would like it more. But because it's like they've fallen in love and it's like, did they though? Because they haven't really ever spoken to each other. And I don't know if that's actually how love happens. Anyway, 3.5.
Great. Oh, poor Tom Hanks' face.
Wow.
Half a Hank.
Did you like clean your face too hard one time and like just ripped it in half?
It's like, yes. Couldn't think of anything else. Yeah, it was definitely a paper napkin.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot you get it in paper or cloth.
Yeah,
Too
yeah.
much ketchup.
Yeah.
Yep.
Soaks right through.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
easy.
Yeah.
Kissed it too hard.
My
That's
lips went right through
oh,
it.
no.
But then
Traumatizing.
then you could turn it around and you could
Yeah.
Be Tom
talk
Hanks.
through it.
Whoa.
like Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
I gave it 4. I just wrote classic. I don't remember what I said.
But no fire?
That's bad.
But no fire.
But no fire. I liked it. A 5 is a movie that surprises and delights me. This movie confused and angered me.
It wasn't even about teens.
Yeah, but I still liked it. I think I'm going to keep it at 4. It was just like, it was good. It was good. She made a good movie. She did a really good job. I just couldn't quite figure out not what was happening, but what I was supposed to feel, which is both good and bad.
Yeah.
4.
Great.
Molly, 5. You love Nora Ephron, but said wait like.
What?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
that's what it says.
Disaster.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I think I was trying to be a Beal bold.
You were
maybe.
being bold,
I
yes.
was being bold with my 5, and I think it was pretty bold. You know, there are those 90s elements, and it's hard to know how much to deduct for that. I think I actually got a little more meaning out of it this time in a lot of ways, and it felt way fresher than I expected it to. I really like the father-son dynamic too. You know, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go 4.5 because to Beth's point earlier, it was not a perfect movie, but it came really close. So I don't know. Maybe I'll regret it tomorrow, but
You. Aww.
and a half.
And then
And a half.
one
One
smush
too
through
much,
it.
and they had to throw half it away.
Yeah.
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 Wow. Tom Hanks is a innovator.
Mm-hmm.
Who would ever think
Oh,
to
with these Hanks?
put their face on a piece of cloth?
Face on Hanks.
Face.
Face Hanks.
Hanks. Face.
I take his
Hanks.
Hanks off.
Tom Hanks is the only person I would allow them to put in the Face Off remake that isn't John Travolta and Nick Cage, as long as John Travolta and Nick Cage are still in it, and the 3 of them swap faces.
Wow.
Oh, I'd be
Now
into that.
that's a movie.
Watching Tom Hanks be Nick Cage.
Oh my God! Can you imagine
Would
watching
really be
Nick
something.
Cage trying to be Tom Hanks?
Oh my word!
You can
They'd
do
have to
it.
give it to Travolta to do.
Oh,
I don't
wait.
know that.
Wait, how does that work when it's only 3 faces? Shit.
Well, they just all shift over
gotta
one.
rotate.
Oh, they just shift to the right.
So they can't swap.
It's swap.
They still. I mean, they.
Nick
It's
Cage,
like a side
during
swap.
Tom Hanks, he could totally nail it. He's played it every man.
Yeah.
It's not that interesting, I don't think.
So you're saying Travolta does Hanks?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Got to.
So then
Because Nick Cage can't contain
Hanks
that.
has got to do Cage.
Absolutely.
But then Cage is doing Travolta again.
That's fine.
It's okay.
I'd still watch that.
Yeah.
Or what if they both, Cage and Travolta, do Hanks?
Okay. Okay. So there's two Tom Hanks faces.
Yeah.
For some reason, they maybe were printed on some napkins.
They could take them off, but they can also now, the new technology is
Oh,
you can
clone
duplicate
the face.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once you've got it off.
Only
in
the face, though.
Tub.
No, only the face.
Yeah.
You can't clone an entire organism. You can only remove the face and then
And double it.
3D print that face
Yeah.
again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So they're both Hanks,
Yeah.
and then Tom Hanks is just dealing with that.
And then Tom Hanks has both of their faces.
Available?
His technology
He can
is
swip
he can
and swap?
at will.
Swip and
yeah.
swap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
Why would he need to switch? Explain to me why he would switch.
Oh, because he's undercover.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Espionage.
Jack Bauer.
Yeah.
So he's going like full Mission Impossible, where he's just pulling mask off,
Yeah.
mask after mask,
Yeah.
infuriating Henry Cavill and his mustache.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I would watch this.
I just want to wish everyone a happy Hanksgiving.
Yes, thank you, Molly, for
Thanksgiving.
bringing it back to the reason of the season.
Reason
Yep.
for the season is Tom Hanks.
That's right.
And we're so grateful for you, our listeners.
If you struggle with our holiday, our country's holiday, and the mythology around it,
Ah, yes.
Instead, celebrate Tom Hanks. who
Drop that
has
T off the beginning.
No problems at all, as far as we know.
As
Fingers
far as we
crossed.
know.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Because we'd like to bring this back in future years.
And sit down, eat a bunch of whatever you want.
Yeah.
Sit down at a typewriter and type yourself a love
He
note.
loves a typewriter.
Oh, that's right. He does.
Yeah.
Did this movie start his love of typewriters?
Was there a typewriter in this movie?
Well, Meg Ryan uses a typewriter, and maybe he was jealous. He saw that footage. He was like, "Why don't I get to use a typewriter?"
Wow.
Wow.
Well, it wasn't in the Wikipedia article.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Arch didn't put it in.
Arch didn't include
Then. I mean,
it.
Arch doesn't care about Tom Hanks. He's just all about Nora.
I mean, there are paragraphs and paragraphs
I gotta
just
check
about
out-
the writing background.
I got to check out this Arch page. This is amazing.
It is. It's pretty intense.
Listen, Arch, if you're out there, call us.
Mm-hmm.
We're listening. Hey, baby, I hear the news is calling. Don't tell it and scrambled eggs. Sleepless in Seattle. Hey, what?
That's Frasier.
Come on!
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.